This is the Buzz Adams Morning Show podcast. Barstool Talk Daily. Except it's really early in the morning and no booze. For the most part.
Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
Good morning.
Today is a very special day.
It's a very special day. Why is today a special day? Because today is
E-G-I-M, that's right.
Today is...
Thank God it's Monday.
Thank God it's Monday.
Is that a real thing?
Is that a real thing?
Why, yes, it is.
Google it.
You can Google it. It's worth a Google.
I don't need to.
I believe you. You know what else I just realized?
It's showtime.
From the KLAQ studios in beautiful sunny El Paso, Texas.
Does anyone copy my transmission?
The Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
Good morning, my neighbor!
Only on 95.5 KLAQ El Paso.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Good morning and welcome to the show, everybody. And the beginning of another work week. It is Monday. I got a friend who gets this Wednesday off.
Wednesday?
Mm-hmm.
Juneteenth?
Juneteenth.
Like, they made it a corporate holiday?
My friend's explanation was they office out of New York, I guess. In New York, Juneteenth is a get out of work holiday.
Awesome.
So, out of curiosity, I said, well, how many African Americans do you have working in your branch?
Uh-oh.
Would you care to guess?
A handful?
Zero.
Zero.
I said, we have that many working at the Q. We ought to get the day off for Juneteenth.
Oh, my.
All right.
Well, good for your friend.
Yeah. I wish I just got them all off. I guess I'd have to get a government job, right? To do something like
I
that.
guess so.
Get all the holidays off.
Did you see that our prep service is also, like, alerting us for their Juneteenth schedule?
Are they off?
I think one of them will be.
You know what? I'm a big fan of Juneteenth. I'm all for celebrating it. Love me some Juneteenth. I would be happy to celebrate, if only and listen, I don't use this word lately. Mm-hmm. Racist company would let us off on Juneteenth. And I like the way it's on the same day, so it rotates throughout the week. It's just like, man, Wednesday. Nobody ever talks about that. If we go to a 4-day weekend, nobody ever brings up, how about work Monday, Tuesday?
Right, and then
a 4-day week.
And then have like a 1 day in the middle of the week off.
Have Wednesday off, and then you go back and work Thursday and Friday. No day would really seem like a Monday.
Yeah, right?
I mean, that is if we ever go to a 4-day work week. I guess some places have, right?
They have,
You hear occasionally about them. I don't know any myself.
I don't, but a lot of the studies say, like, they're doing great.
Should I have, what do you think? Should I have Nico's late song ready to go?
Yes, you should.
Okay. What do you want to put the target at for today if he's not here by when?
Did he come back yesterday from his trip from Sierra Blanca?
I talked to him yesterday before he went up there. Did he stay in Sierra Blanca? No, I don't know.
Let's see.
I got it ready.
Say, it's already 6:04. The 15 mark.
Really?
Yes.
All right. So if you hear that, sleepyhead, you've got like 11 minutes to get here, or we're going to play the Nico's late song.
Oh, never mind. None of us will win.
Why?
Nico will be out today. I just got a text.
You just got the text that he's not going to be in today?
Yes.
Oh, well, I'm flabbergasted. What a surprise. Well, I got a happy Father's Day out of my youngest daughter.
How was your Father's Day?
I was good. I went to 1, 2, 3. I went to 3 different things throughout the day.
Wow.
Yeah. But I told her, I said, hey, I'm going to call Grandma. And the first thing she's going to say is, did you wish your dad she's going to ask you, did you wish your dad a happy Father's Day? And as soon as I said that, she goes, Happy Father's Day.
She forgot about it.
Yeah, I think she forgot about it. And she explained in a way that might sound familiar to you.
Okay.
I'm just not very sentimental. Like, I don't make a big deal out of birthdays and things like that.
Oh, my God. She's little you.
Right. That's how I am.
Your daughter.
And I told her, I said, but I really like Christmas. And she goes, oh, yeah. Christmas is the exception.
Oh, she's a mini buzz.
Let's get the El Paso weather. And it is brought to you today by Wet n Wild. I'll tell you about your season passes. Not too late to get the season passes for Wet n Wild. You'll save a lot of money if you do that. And boy, if there was ever a summer where you need a membership to a water park, this is probably it. It's going to be really hot, and along about Wednesday, Thursday, toward the weekend, we're really seeing a good chance of rain. So if you can't remember the last time we had rain, because I can't, it looks like later this week, by the end of the week, we're looking at a really, really solid chance of getting some rain in El Paso. Let's start off, though, with Monday, sunny, 104. Don't have any rain in the forecast. This afternoon, winds are going to creep up. They're going to get up to 10 to 15, maybe 15 to 20 miles an hour this afternoon. Tomorrow is going to remain in triple digits. It's 102 for Tuesday's high temperature, sunshine. Wednesday, let's take note of Wednesday here because it's going to be mostly sunny. 104 is going to be the high temperature, but we're going to see the rain possibly moving into the forecast, maybe 20% chance of rain Wednesday afternoon and evening. Then get ready. I hope you didn't pack your sweaters away for the summer because it's going to have a high temperature of 88 on Thursday, and we're still seeing about a 20% chance of rain on Thursday. Very windy, by the way. Winds are really going to be blowing through town on a Wednesday. But let's pay attention here as we get into Friday and Saturday. High's going to be in the mid-80s, isolated thunderstorms, and we're looking at a 30-40% chance of rain on Friday. 40-50% chance of rain on Saturday. Looks like a good block of rain chances. And remember, when they talk about chance rain, that has to do with how much it will rain or how much of the coverage area will get rain. Not what you assume it does. Like you would think if it's a 50% chance of rain, you're like, well, flip a coin. Could be no rain.
Or it could rain.
But we've had it explained to us that is not the case. So 50% means that 50% of the coverage area, which is basically El Paso and part of a couple adjacent counties, are going to get the rain. So starting Wednesday, but then the real chance of some rain comes through, maybe enough that it'll actually get the ground wet in a helpful way. Won't be until Friday and Saturday. El Paso weather brought to you by Wet n Wild. Get your season pass. That season pass is good any day and every day. And yes, that includes special events like the Neon Paint Party coming up June 29th and the July 4th Fireworks Spectacular, which is kind of famous over there in Anthony. People park up on the interstate and get a good view of it and find a place to watch the fireworks display, but you get your season pass. You're in the park for that. Save on tickets, buy in advance now at wetwild.com. That's wetwild.com, and get your season passes. All right, Joanna, since it's just going to be the two of us today.
Just the two of us.
Girls in the sky. What do you have coming up in the Hollywood Cheesemate today?
Here's something that I would like your take on. The Blue Beetle, you know that superhero that was supposed to be set in El Paso.
And then they totally made him not in El Paso at all?
Yeah, for sure.
God.
Well, there's an animated series in
Why do I blame
now.
George Lopez for that? I don't know why I blame George Lopez for that.
Oh, yeah, why do you?
I don't know. Because he was in it, I think.
Like he had something to do with it.
Did you watch Blue Beetle?
I have not.
I tried to watch it. I thought about boycotting it because, it would be like having a Superman movie, but all of a sudden he doesn't live in Metropolis. But,
right.
So I tried to watch some of it, and I just couldn't get into it.
Well, there's an animated series now in the works at Warner Brothers Animation Studios. but no word yet on whether any of the other characters will be lending their voices or the original actors will be lending their voices. And no word if the animated series will be set in El Paso.
Okay, we have a recap of the Pope's meeting with more than 100 comedians from around the world.
Oh.
The Pope met with, well, here's who came over for Team USA as far as comedy goes. Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Jim Gaffigan, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Chris Rock, Tig Notaro, and Conan O'Brien. So we'll tell you how that went down with the Pope. Did the Pope get up and try and do does he have a solid 10-minute set? Or? I'll give you one takeaway. The Pope told these comedians it's okay to laugh at God.
Okay, that's a good start.
You first. He says that it's okay to laugh at God as long as you do it in the right way. Otherwise, lightning will strike you out of the blue. Taylor Swift has an album, and she just released 34 different versions of her album, The Tortured Poets Department.
Oh, my God.
Are you doing this story?
No, but that sounds like a lot of versions. What the hell?
You know why?
Money?
Because there are some fans that are just so...
they will eat all of it up. Yeah.
They'll buy all of the albums. I don't know about all of them, but somebody out there will try and collect all of the different versions of her album. So you'll have the Hollywood Cheesemate coming up a little bit later. NBA Finals resume tonight. The Boston Celtics hosting the Dallas Mavericks. So Dallas lost 2 on the road, and the Celtics have a 3-1 lead. So it could close out tonight in Boston at the Boston Gardens. Boston leading that series 3-1 going into tonight's game. I know you guys don't like it when I talk about golf. I know you're not interested. But yesterday's U.S. Open was one of the most exciting Sunday finishes I've seen in a long, long time.
Do you want to know something weird?
You watch some of the golf?
No, I'm now getting notifications on my phone about golf.
Why do you think? Because it listens in and hears you talk. Oh, did you search something?
I searched something up, and now it's like, oh, you're interested in this? Let me give you more info.
Now it's almost like getting aggressive, trying to get you to open golf links, huh?
And how do you say that dude's name? Rory McIlroy?
Rory McIlroy.
No, that's not how you spell it.
Rory McIlroy is his name. No, you have to trust me on this one. So it really came down. There were a few neck and neck there, but it really came down between Rory McIlroy and Bryson DeChambeau. Can you say that?
DeChambeau. I did know that, yeah.
DeChambeau's an American, and Rory McIlroy is Scottish. And normally, I'd be going for the American, but I wasn't. I was going for Rory McIlroy. Do you know why?
Why?
All right. All due respect to Bryson DeChambeau. He was one of those golfers who went and joined the Saudi Arabian-backed LIV Golf Tour.
Oh, right.
And
which just seems shady.
It just seems shady. They don't wear long pants. That's not right. So I was really going for Rory.
McIlroy.
Rory McIlroy has been kind of like outspoken. He's the PGA guy, and Bryson is kind of the biggest star on the LIV Tour, and it came down to those two. And credit where credit is due. Bryson DeChambeau pulled it off. It didn't help that Rory missed some really short putts toward the end. But you know what? Now I kind of get it why you're bored with golf. If I didn't know who either one of these people were, I'd be bored by it too. But it was super exciting.
The highlight of Buzz's weekend.
It was great. What a Father's Day. All right, we're going to get to today in sound clips. We have some wild weather around the country. Heat wave in the Northeast. Fires outside of Los Angeles. Some places in the country are actually having record cold So a real mixed bag, but we'll get into today in sound clips coming up here in just a moment.
The Daily Calendar.
Hey, it's June 17th. It's Bunker Hill Day today. It's a Boston thing, like the Wahlbergs. It's also Dump the Pump Day to encourage people not to drive for like one day. Shout out to all the healthcare workers. It's Nursing Assistance Day. And Take Your Cat to Work Day so that your cat can push things off your desk.
Oh, boy.
And that's your Daily Calendar.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10...
to light new condition, Platinum Myrtle, or visit ProntoBodyShop.com. That's ProntoBodyShop.com.
Broadcasting from El Paso for El Paso. The Buzz Adams Morning Show on 95.5 KLAQ.
We're going to get into Today in Sound Clips coming up here in just a few moments. First look at the day's news, but I want to tell you about this week's dining deal. We'll have a dining deal on Friday, but I want to get the word out because sometimes these dining deal offers go really, really quick. And I can see why. It's $50 food value for just $25. We make these available on Friday at 10 o'clock, and while they last, there's only 100 of them. You can get $50 for food for only $25. You can get up to 2 of them. And so it's a real good deal. And this week, the restaurant that is going to be offering the dining deal is Chilitos. Chilitos with 2 locations, 2400 North Mesa and 115 North Mesa. Chilitos is where you'll find 7 different and delicious half-pound burgers, tasty, authentic tortas, tacos, and flautas. Plus, check out Chilitos' house specialties like the ceviche. And domestic and specialty beers, lunch or dinner, dine-in, takeout, or delivery, Chilitos downtown or on Mesa in the UTEP area. That'll be on Friday starting at 10 o'clock. How was your weekend, Joanna? I didn't ask.
It was nice.
Yeah. Did you do anything? Did you go anywhere?
Well, I had a
How was the racetrack? Yeah.
There were no horses.
Yeah, they don't race every single day, you know, right?
I thought they would be there.
There's a season. I don't know horse racing. Apparently, I don't know golf that much because I had somebody had to call in and correct me a minute ago. But,
I just saw that.
Yeah, I wasn't sure there was going to be horses.
You
kept making references there every now and then, like, maybe I'll bet on the races. And I'm like,
I was so ready to bet on a horse. But no, it was fun. I did end up going to a graduation party on Saturday. Mm-hmm. Congratulations to the class of 2024, by the way. And so I'm at this
high school
party.
or college?
High school.
All right.
So I'm at this party.
Drinking going on? Are those kids sneaking some wine coolers or something?
Wine coolers? I don't know what them kids were doing, but I'm on the way to the restroom, right?
Yeah.
I have to go pee.
Okay.
And then I get to the bathroom, and out comes the hostess and her husband right behind her. And I thought, oh my God, I interrupted something.
It was their house?
It was their house. So
they probably, did you think they were sneaking a quickie in the restroom?
I am so sorry. I did not mean to interrupt.
No.
And they were like, no, that's not what happened.
It's their house. They would have gone to the boudoir.
That's what I told them. I'm like, well, it was the bathroom in their room because the other one was occupied.
Okay, and you were just trying to find a bathroom.
Yeah, they were like, oh, you can go into that room and use the bathroom there.
Oh,
and they come out, and I'm like, I am so sorry. You are in your own home. No judgment.
Mm-hmm.
So the whole running joke for the rest of the night was Mike and Jasmine coming out of the bathroom together.
And were they the parents of the graduate?
They were.
They must have been very proud, probably in a celebratory mood, I would guess.
Well, like, you're in your own home. No judgment. Good times, though.
Bryson DeChambeau won the U.S. Open yesterday.
And you are not happy?
Good morning, Buzz. This is Chris Sandcliffe. I just wanted to let you know Rory McIlroy is from Northern Ireland rather than Scotland. Sorry for my voice.
Well, I looked it up. He's right. I thought Rory McIlroy was from Scotland all this time for some reason.
McIlroy.
But while I was looking it up, 5'9", little on the shorter side. He doesn't look short on TV.
So he's Irish.
Yeah. I mean, what's the difference? Northern Ireland, Scotland, what are they?
I think there's
a couple
big
miles away.
maybe.
No, I know Ireland is an island and Scotland is just like the top of England.
Okay.
You know that? So you could drive from London all the way to the very top of Scotland to John O'Groats. One of these days, I'm going to do a tour. I'm just going to take like 3 months.
Okay.
Maybe when I retire.
Okay.
And I'm going to travel all around the UK. I'm going to hit Europe. And then I'm going to go like Italy, Greece.
Okay.
All that stuff. Does that sound like a...
Yeah, that sounds like a big adventure for you. You never venture out of your home.
Yeah.
Now you're going to venture out of the country.
I'll probably never get around to doing it. Let's get sound clips going.
And now, today in sound clips.
All of the day's news with accompanying sound bites and actualities. Since we were talking about it, why don't we go ahead and listen in? Here's the call: is Bryson DeChambeau wins the 124th U.S. Open. Here you go.
Another epic up and down at Pinehurst for a U.S. Open championship. Bryson DeChambeau now has 2, the second at number 2.
All right. So there you go. Let's talk about the weekend. There was a shooting. Authorities identified a man yesterday who shot 9 people at a splash pad in Rochester Hills, Michigan. Oakland County Sheriff's spokesperson Stephen Huber said that 42-year-old Michael William Nash was the shooter and that he died by suicide after a standoff at a home nearby.
Oh, my God.
Yeah. The 9 victims were ages 4 to 78, with an 8-year-old boy and a 39-year-old woman in critical condition. Sheriff Michael Bouchard of Oakland County said the gunman had no prior criminal history, but suffered from what he called mental health challenges in private. Here is Rochester Hills, Michigan Mayor Brian Barnett, who was one of the first officials to respond to the shooting at a splash pad, said that it wasn't what a day of fun is supposed to be.
It's emotional. I still, it's emotional because I know that there are kids that are, and families that are, that are fighting right now to regain their health. That's not what a splash pad is supposed to be.
Barnett says that things could have been a lot worse.
The situation maybe could have avoided, but the other hand, it could have been much worse. They found more guns in this person's house. So I will use the opportunity to thank first responders for their quick work, but also to remind folks that it's okay to say you need help.
The gunman fired around 28 times and reloaded multiple times. A 9mm Glock and 3 empty magazines were recovered from the scene. It sounds like the 8-year-old boy and the 39-year-old woman are in critical condition. The rest of the victims were stable. So amazingly, if both of those in critical condition make it, it will have been a shooting rampage where nobody died. So that's what they're hoping for, what we're hoping for that matter. It didn't take long for Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer to respond to the latest Supreme Court ruling. On Friday, the court struck down a federal rule that outlawed bump stocks, which increased the rate of fire of semi-automatic weapons. I've never seen one in use. I've never used one, but I've heard what they've said about them. They say that basically it's what the guy at the Las Vegas Country Music Festival shooting used. It, according to sources that I heard on TV, gun experts, they said a bump stock is a pretty simple attachment and it can turn a semi-automatic basically into an automatic weapon. So, like a machine gun. The ruling was put in place in 2018 after that 2017 mass shooting at a music festival in Las Vegas. This was a Trump-era rule on the bump stocks, but the 6-3 ruling from the Supreme Court brought it to an end. Chuck Schumer held a press conference yesterday criticizing the Supreme Court's decision blocking the Trump-era ban on bump stocks on firearms.
This latest decision to undo the ban on deadly gun bump stocks, like the one that took so many lives of people in Las Vegas, risks public safety, risks public tragedies, will certainly cost human lives.
Schumer called the Supreme Court, quote, a MAGA court for striking down the Trump administration rule. President Joe Biden commented on the ruling as well and said he'd sign a bill banning bump stocks into law if it reaches his desk. There's no easy path, though, with Schumer saying we will need votes from Senate Republicans. And you know how those guys tend to be when it comes to guns or whatever the NRA wants them to do. Right. At one point, the NRA was in favor of banning bump stocks. So
interesting.
A little more from Chuck Schumer. Schumer criticizing the Supreme Court decision on bump stocks.
So today, I'm announcing a plan for the United States Senate to vote, known as a unanimous consent vote, to restore the bump stock ban.
Police in Minnesota aren't allowed to ask a certain question that I'm sure have you ever been pulled over, Joanna?
No.
Okay. But you don't really drive?
No.
Not very often. Well, then you wouldn't know. Have you ever been with somebody?
Yes.
Okay. The police often ask, do you know why I pulled you over? And apparently that's a trick to get you to admit to doing something wrong.
Okay.
Police in Minnesota are no longer allowed to ask, do you know why I pulled you over? The idea here is to stop people from incriminating themselves. Here is Michelle Gross, and her organization is called Communities United Against Police Brutality, talking about this new law.
We don't want people making spontaneous confessions, and we don't want law enforcement officers to ask people questions except in a formal interrogation setting where they are Mirandized.
Spontaneous confessions.
Yeah. I was going too fast through that school zone.
Yeah, what are you supposed to answer when they ask that? I don't know.
I'm trying to think. I mean, I've been pulled over.
Have they asked you?
Yeah.
And what do you usually say? Do you usually I know what I got pulled over for?
Well, I mean, I imagine it's speeding, but that's only because it's the only thing, I'm eliminating everything else. I wasn't shooting guns out of the window. I don't know. I probably incriminated myself just by saying, I don't know, speeding.
Hell if I know.
Yeah, what else am I doing? So police in Minnesota are no longer allowed to ask that question.
Okay.
Do you know why I pulled you over? An amusement park ride in Oregon malfunctioned. Have you ever been, Joanna, to a park where the ride malfunctions and either leaves you just sitting there or it keeps going?
I've been on Splash Mountain when the ride has started and then it stops and we've had to evacuate.
How did you evacuate?
They took us through like this whole maze through the back.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
The animatronics and stuff.
Did you think it was cool at the time?
It was pretty cool, yeah.
Right. And you get to see the back of the animatronic?
It was really cool. And it was also even more cool because at the end they gave us like a pass so that we could skip the line next time. They're like, oh, we're so sorry. Here's a pass to make up for it.
One year at the county fair, me and friends were on, that hateful circular thing that just basically spins you around.
Oh, yeah.
And you're up against
and you're standing in it.
And you're standing in it and holds you up against.
Holding onto two bars.
Yeah. So the guy was about to shut it down, and, we're like in 8th grade, and there's nobody in line. So we're like, look, do it again. Keep it going. So
keep it going.
There wasn't a line of other people wanting to get on. So the guy kind of shrugs and then leaves for lunch or a break or something.
Oh, my God.
So we're on there for 30 minutes.
Oh, my God.
And we were all screaming, turn it off!
That's enough! That's enough!
I bring this up because of this amusement park ride in Oregon that malfunctioned on Friday.
Oh, my God.
Did you see the pictures?
I have seen the videos.
It left 28 people hanging upside down in mid-loop. So it was one of those. It was one of those loop-de-loops. It was opening day of the park for the season.
Ooh.
One person was taken to a hospital as a precaution, but no one was seriously hurt. A lot of kids were there. A lot of kids were on the ride just out of high school. Here is one of the riders talking about the experience.
It started going to the top, and then it came, and then I was like, oh, here's the part where it goes 360. I was still spinning like this, but it wasn't moving backwards. And I was like, a minute passed, and I was like, this might be more serious than I may have deduced. I heard like screaming, crying, just pleas for help. It was really discomforting. I thought it would very well be the end of my life.
Oh, he thought it was the end of his life.
Yeah, that sounds terrible. Like, this is how I die, upside down on a malfunctioning ride at the fair.
Oh, it's weirdly. It's not a roller coaster.
No, it's kind of like those things where you all sit like in a round table sort of deal.
And then it goes up and turns.
It goes up, it spins you upside down, and I guess on the upside down part, it got stuck. So everybody was just stuck for 30 minutes upside down. Can you imagine how many people just passed out from that?
Just from the blood rushing to their head or whatever. It does not seem pleasant. A man in Walmart has had to clarify that he is not stealing. He has been recorded multiple times and has kind of become famous on social media in the St. Louis, Missouri area. Now the man is trying to clear his name after a video went viral of him at the self-checkout at Walmart, putting items into bags without scanning or paying for them. So he's just getting his items, checking out, but he wasn't scanning them or anything. Apparently, he had paid for them. He works for a company called Spark. Oh, it says here it's Walmart's delivery service. And he had scanned all those items beforehand into the app using his phone. All right, do you follow all this?
Okay, yeah.
It only appeared that he was bagging the groceries. Here is Bill Astle. This Astle, am I right? Here is Bill Astle talking about it.
I'm not a thief. I'm being pictured and painted as a thief all over the internet. Everything is done off the phone. So when we get to the register, we're not actually scanning a single item, millions and millions of views. I've had customers say, hey, didn't I see you on the internet, and were you stealing items? And then I have to explain to people what I'm doing.
Oh.
I'm not a thief.
How much just opportunistic shoplifting goes on at those things?
I can imagine.
I mean, they don't have it locked down 100%. I don't think. I bet you a lot of people, maybe even without meaning to.
Oh, yeah.
People scan something, it just didn't scan. And if you wanted to steal something, you could just scan it with your hand over the. I have a really criminal mind. Part of my mind has a real conspiracy. Yeah.
I could steal this
I have
now.
a rare grasp of the criminal mind. You just kind of hold your hand over the thing and swipe it through and then put it in. And if somebody catches it, you say, I don't know why it didn't scan. It seems like it would be really easy to steal going through the self-checkout. Have you ever heard of these different apps? And there's one device that's supposed to help dogs speak in a way that you can translate. Have you ever seen the little buttons on the floor?
Yeah.
That looks ridiculous. A team of researchers at UT Arlington are using AI, and hopefully, and they believe it's possible, they'll be able to understand what dogs are saying when they make any noise. And it would, I guess, translate this in real time. You don't have dogs, do you?
I have one dog.
You do?
Yeah.
Oh, boy. He must feel really outnumbered in a house full of cats.
I think she thinks she's a cat.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
You know, sometimes your dog will come up and just you'll make a noise. Here is Professor of Computer Science Kenny Zhu at University of Texas Arlington talking about the project to translate dog talk.
People have always tried to understand what animals are talking about. We are trying to do this completely automatically. We have been able to discover certain word-like patterns. This combination of 27, 9, 32, 20 might be a dog word.
A dog word?
Right. So he was referring to like the number of this sound they hear from time to time. It might be a word in dog talk. Do you want to hear, or are you going to do it in entertainment? Armie Hammer gave an interview where he talked about those accusations that he would fantasize about cannibalism.
I did have it for entertainment.
I will leave it aside. Not a problem.
More to come.
All right, we'll have that in about 30 minutes. A woman helped an elderly woman not get scammed out of $40,000.
Oh, good.
I like these stories. This happened in White Settlement, Texas, which is not it's not like a white supremacist compound or anything. It just sounds like that. I believe it's around Fort Worth.
Okay.
Because I've seen the signs before, and it always, White Settlement, huh? Didn't know that was legal anymore. At White Settlement, Texas, Mindy Jordan noticed an elderly woman anxiously inserting $100 bills into a Bitcoin ATM.
Oh, dear. They have ATMs?
Yes. The elderly woman was doing this while on a video call, and the younger woman, Mindy, thought the whole thing looked suspicious, right?
Mm-hmm.
She called 911.
Sus.
Sergeant James Stewart of the White Settlement Police Department arrived, took over the call and confronted the scammer, stopping the woman. She was going to put in $40,000.
Oh, my God.
Don't put all that money in there. I'm Sergeant James Stewart. Officer Stewart was able to recover the woman's funds because she'd already pumped a lot of money in there, emphasizing the importance of community vigilance and advising the public to directly contact their bank if they receive suspicious calls. Have you ever heard any of these? Like the way they convince a person, often an elderly person, to part with outrageous sums of money?
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are, I guess they still have the Nigerian prince scam or a version of that going around. But a lot of times they'll call up and either claim to be the person's grandchild, or they'll even use an AI to make the voice sound like the voice they'd recognize. Here is Mindy Jordan talks about stepping in and saving the elderly woman from being scammed for $40,000. Mindy says that the elderly woman seems scared to death.
All I could think of is this lady is here by herself, scared to death, and I would want somebody to help my grandmother, my mom, help me in that situation.
Do you want to hear what the scam was?
Yeah.
So the elderly woman believed she was speaking to a Chase Bank security employee who instructed her to withdraw $40,000 and was coercing her to deposit the money into a Bitcoin ATM.
Oh, my.
The victim had already deposited over $23,000 before the policeman showed up and managed to stop the process. Huh. Wait, now how does that scam? Somebody calls up, hey, I'm from your bank. I need you to withdraw a lot of money from the bank, my employer, and put it into a Bitcoin machine. I'm not exactly sure how that grift
I don't know,
would work.
but I'm sure just the thought of, oh my God, the bank is calling and they need me to do this is enough to get them moving.
Yeah. Gordon Ramsay had a pretty scary bicycle accident, and he talked about it. So from one bicycle accident person to another, Gordon Ramsay.
All right.
You know, August is not that far away.
Oh, God.
Gordon Ramsay made a PSA in the form of a social media video. He had substantial bruising on his torso. Basically, his torso was very, very purple from the bruising. He required a hospital stay and emphasized the importance of wearing a helmet while cycling. I want to point out.
Yes.
Even if I'd had a helmet on, it wouldn't have helped me because my face smashed right into a concrete pillar.
Oh, God.
Everybody's like, why don't you wear a helmet? Even in that case.
I mean, you should have still been wearing a helmet.
Like, if I was going to go on a bike ride today, it's going to be like 106 degrees. I want to put a helmet on top of everything else. I mean, that's one of the few things that'll keep you cool a little bit is the wind. The bad accident on his bicycle happened in Connecticut last week. Here's a little bit of Gordon Ramsay talking.
You know how much I love cycling and triathlons and Ironman, etc. This week, unfortunately, I had a really bad accident, and it really shook me. And honestly, I'm lucky to be here.
All right.
Wear a helmet.
Yeah. In the winter, maybe. Anytime when it's not triple digits. Bill Belichick, you know, the coach of the New England Patriots.
Yes.
Is apparently got a new girlfriend.
Oh.
Who happens to be a 24-year-old former competitive cheerleader.
Oh.
Bill is 72. God, that's 48 years different. That's
weird, right?
It's not only weird, it's also sad in a way. You would think somebody might think, oh, it's really cool, I got a hot 24-year-old girlfriend. But I think to everybody else, as soon as you go to a party with your 24-year-old girlfriend, as soon as you and her walk out, everybody's talking about how sad.
Yeah, everyone's all like, did you see that?
You know that, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Her name is Jordan Hudson. She met Bill Belichick 3 years ago on a flight from Boston to Florida. At the Tom Brady roast, Rob Gronkowski actually joked about Bill Belichick and his very, very much younger girlfriend. So here's Gronk's joke from the Tom Brady roast.
Coach, you used to talk about Foxborough High School when we sucked, but now I know why you were so obsessed with Foxborough High School. You were scouting your new girlfriend.
Wow, Gronk. Yeah, so I guess Bill Belichick has a 24-year-old girlfriend, and maybe he just doesn't care what people say about it. Did you look her up?
No, I didn't.
Yeah.
Is she?
She's very pretty, but she's 24.
Like, she was barely alive for 9/11. Oh, she is pretty.
Yeah, no, she's real cute. Wait, depending on what month she was born in, she might have been born after 9/11. Anyway, no word on if she'll make Bill Belichick wear sleeves on a fancy date or not.
Are you an old rich guy looking for the young cheerleader of your dreams? Then log on to Bill Belichick's SugarDaddyHarmony.com. We'll set you up with somebody based on one dimension of compatibility, whether or not she's a young cheerleader.
Hi, it's Bill Belichick. I was looking for somebody who was young, hot, and a cheerleader. Aren't we all? Anyway, I created Bill Belichick's Sugar Daddy Harmony, and the young gold diggers came rolling in.
Like me.
That's right, Tanya.
Tina.
Doesn't matter. Anyway, we enjoy going out to fancy dinners and eating low-salt meals and pureed food because that's pretty much all I eat. Applesauce mostly.
And I like spending his money.
She sure does. So, what do you say we,
You grow gross. You're so old.
I can't really do it anyway.
Bill Belichick's SugarDaddyHarmony.com. Find your special hot young cheerleader today.
I'm Daniel Paulus, and whether you're wrapping up your workday,
are subject to credit call. Certain fees and conditions apply. Promotion details at gecu.com. Equal housing lender.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
95.5 KLAQ. That is Crown of Horns, and that is from Judas Priest. New album, their latest album, Invincible Shield, which we're giving away all month long because this month is, Joanna?
Judas Priest.
That's right. We are observing the month of Judas Priest. We will have extra Judas Priest songs. Tomorrow, we'll probably have a few double shots for Tuesday and opportunities to win a digital download of the new Judas Priest album, Invincible Shield, that includes that song we just heard there. So happy Judas Priest, everybody. We're going to get to Joanna's Hollywood Cheesemay in just a moment. It's the day after Father's Day. Let's take a look at the Mo Show calendar and Daily Almanac events here real quick. Find out what's happening on our Mo Show calendar. Today is June 17th. Today is World Crocodile Day.
Oh.
And today is National Garbage Men Day.
Oh, nice.
Which I appreciate garbage men, but I don't think that's what they want to be called anymore, right? Sanitation engineer, maybe?
Ah, yes. I think that's the better term.
Waste disposal management specialist?
Oh, nice.
Might be a good one. You know, he's the guy who comes pick us up at the trash.
Yes.
An unsung hero.
For sure.
Here are some celebrities that are having birthdays today. Tennis star Venus Williams is 44 today. Formerly of Saturday Night Live, Will Forte, who made an entire MacGruber movie out of his MacGruber character.
Oh, yeah.
Actor Greg Kinnear from As Good As It Gets and Little Miss Sunshine, and the original host of The Talk Soup is 61. Also, very fine actor here, Thomas Hayden Church, who played Lowell on Wings. He was Paul Giamatti's buddy in Sideways. And
Sandman from
Sandman and
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Sandman from, which one was that? Was that the Andrew Garfield one?
No, the third one.
It was the third, right. The third Tobey Maguire one.
Mm-hmm.
Actor Mark Lynn Baker, who played Cousin Larry on Perfect Strangers, is having a birthday today. He's 70. And Joe Piscopo, another former Saturday Night Live cast member. Joe Piscopo is 73. Did you see why he was in the news about 2 or 3 weeks ago?
No.
He showed up at the Trump trial, like to support Donald Trump.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And he just said, I've known him for like 50 years. I just wanted to show up and support him. Barry Manilow is 81, who had hit songs like Mandy. I Write the Songs, although I don't think he wrote that one.
He didn't write that one?
I think I had heard that he did not write I Write the Songs.
Oh, Copacabana.
At the Copa.
That's a jam.
Copacabana. What a sad story.
Oh, yeah.
After all those years, she still goes there and drinks at the bar.
With those yellow feathers in her hair.
And former Speaker of the House back in the 1990s, Newt Gingrich, is 81. My favorite politician who's named after an amphibious lizard. Today is Eat Your Vegetables Day. I probably should have led with that. It's such an important thing, right? Eat Your Vegetables Day.
Oh, good morning. Today is National Eat Your Vegetables Day.
Eat your vegetables. Eat more vegetables.
Vegetables?
We don't eat vegetables.
What? You're not going to eat your vegetables?
Told us he didn't want to eat his vegetables.
You didn't eat your vegetables?
Broccoli, broccoli. It's time to eat your broccoli.
Yes, yes, yes. I want to eat the broccoli.
Nobody in that.
Cocomelon.
That's Coco Melon.
Yeah, for sure.
Nobody in that song sounds convinced that they really want to eat the broccoli.
It sounds like you're having a hard time convincing them to eat the broccoli.
Right. It sounds like they're trying to work up their nerve. They're trying to screw enough nerve up to, I'm gotta eat the broccoli. I like the broccoli. I am hoping the broccoli disappears. So happy National Eat Your Vegetables Day. A couple of dates in history for you. It was 249 years ago in 1775. The Battle of Bunker Hill happened in Boston. The Revolutionary War's Battle of Bunker Hill went down on this date. You remember learning about that in school, don't you?
Yeah.
139 years ago, in 1885, the Statue of Liberty arrived in New York City. It was a gift from France. And this is the 30th anniversary of the famous O.J. Simpson car chase. 95 million Americans watched.
Today, really?
Today's the 30th anniversary. It was on this date in 1994. During the NBA Finals, that O.J. Simpson went on his infamous car chase. It says 95 million Americans watched the 8-hour police chase. I don't think anybody watched all 8 hours, but definitely people were checking in on O.J. Simpson.
Don't they say like that's a day where there were like a lot of pizza deliveries?
I believe I've heard it make a lot of sense that there was.
Because people were just like having watch parties and ordering pizza.
OJ was threatening suicide and refused to leave the white Ford Bronco until when it arrived at his home. So if he's like, I didn't do it, you're just like, a crime victim. Your estranged wife is dead. Why was he threatening to commit suicide?
Good question.
Right? OJ died earlier this year, by the way.
Oh, that's right. I forgot.
You had forgotten that OJ passed away?
Kind of did, yeah.
Well, happy Father's Day belatedly, all you dads out there. I hope you had a great Father's Day and got to see all or most of your kids, or the ones you know about anyway. So
yesterday was Father's Day, a day to honor the man that raised you, stuck by you, and remains close to your heart even now. Today, a different kind of Father's Day. Today is National Baby Daddy Day. A day to honor the man who disappeared before you were born and remains elusive even now to your mom and the authorities who are attempting to collect child support on your behalf. Yes, those baby daddies with 7 children by 5 women in 4 states. Those men who live by the motto, hit it and quit it. That shake their head in disgust at the mere mention of the word condom. Those amazing gentlemen who weep on national TV when the DNA test on Maury comes back positive. Yes, today, a happy baby daddy day for the father I never had and the husband my mother never wanted. Happy Baby Daddy Day, Dad. A message from the National Single Mothers Association and your bastard son, Jerry.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna, tell us more.
here we go. It's time for the Hollywood Cheese Man, our entertainment report with Joanna Barba. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Tom Geary, who played Smalls in The Sandlot, was arrested and charged with assault, disorderly conduct, and malicious damage after allegedly throwing a dumbbell through the windshield of a neighbor's Jeep. This is all
You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, Smalls. Wait, I have that.
You're killing me, Smalls.
No, he will literally try to kill you, apparently. According to TMZ, he also allegedly approached the neighbor's doorbell while holding a knife.
God.
The incident occurred on June 2nd. Geary was previously arrested in 2013 at a Houston airport after allegedly headbutting a police officer.
Good Lord.
After being told that he was too intoxicated to board a flight.
And it's a neighbor, it sounds like he has an
This
issue
was
with.
the neighbor, right?
His ball went back in the backyard and they couldn't get it because of the beast.
Exactly. So the dumbbell to the rescue, I guess.
He has retained his lawyer Squints.
Oh, Oh, Geary's last on-screen credit came in the 2021 film The Unforgivable, starring Sandra Bullock.
Wow.
It looks like they're still going strong. Giselle Bundchen got cozy with boyfriend Joaquin Valente after it was reported that they split over stress from the Tom Brady roast. According to photos obtained by Page Six, the supermodel just couldn't keep her hands off her jiu-jitsu trainer as they walked her dog in their Surfside, Florida neighborhood on Saturday afternoon.
So those reports were premature, it sounds like.
Yeah, in one snap, Bundchen placed her arm around her man's shoulder as he held his hand around her waist while they hugged. The outing comes after an insider told In Touch Weekly on Thursday that the spotlight was just too much for Valente. Things between Bundchen and the new trainer seemingly took a turn for the worst after they were the butt of jokes at her ex Tom Brady's Netflix roast.
Well, that's the ultimate joke was they were, I mean, if it were true, and it doesn't sound like it is, but that you were so upset by the Tom Brady roast that it made you actually break up.
I do not appreciate being in the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like all's well.
Well, he's not the, but he was not the butt of any of the jokes. Tom was the butt of all those jokes.
Apparently, a source says that he's just like a regular chill guy and he just does not appreciate being part of jokes like that.
Maybe don't date a supermodel who used to be married to the most famous athlete.
Exactly. You're dating one of the most famous supermodels in the world.
And her fame is amplified because she was married to Tom Brady and has his kids.
The GOAT.
Yeah, that's right.
What did you and then it's a roast. What did you expect?
Yeah. They weren't there.
They weren't there, but I mean, in spirit, I guess they were. But it looks like the relationship will continue through.
Oh, well, thank God.
Love is not all dead. George Strait is the king of country music, and now it looks like he's the king of concerts. Strait's concert in College Station had 110,900 fans in attendance on Saturday night. The concert at Kyle Field set the U.S. record for a ticketed concert. In 1997, the Grateful Dead had set the previous record at a concert held at Raceway Park in New Jersey. Strait's concert even surpassed the highest attendance for any event at Kyle Field, including football games. Texas A&M previously held that record with 110,663 fans present on October 11th of 2014.
Didn't George Strait retire like a few years ago?
I guess not. That dude's still going.
Maybe it was like one of those temporary retirements.
Yeah, it was one of those things where he's like, I'm retiring. JK, I'm back. George Strait is great.
Have you seen him?
No, but my parents and my sister have seen him like twice.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to hear a little audio of George Strait at Kyle Field?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. Country legend George Strait performed on a rotating stage.
Wow.
In the middle of Kyle Field.
What's going on, everybody? I'm ashamed to say this, but this is my first time to ever be in Kyle Field. Damn. Man, I want to whoop so bad. Can I whoop one?
So that crowd at the stadium is the equivalent of all of Las Cruces. Like every man, woman, and child in Las Cruces.
How old is George Strait?
George has got to be in his like 65, I bet you. You going to look that up real quick?
He is 72 years old.
George looks good.
He does. He sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Good for him. Congratulations.
He is the king.
He is, yeah. Army Hammer sat down with the Painful Lessons podcast recently to reflect on how his life has changed over the last few years and those cannibal accusations that he had to deal with a few years ago.
Let's do just a soft reset here, okay?
Yeah.
So, Army Hammer played the Lone Ranger in that terrible movie with Johnny Depp.
Yes.
And he was in Call Me By Your Name with Timothy.
He was the Winklevi.
The Winklevi in The Social Network. Okay, so, pretty big actor. I guess in messages, he would describe how he wanted to cannibalize.
Right.
Girls he was interested in, and I don't remember
their ribs or something.
Yeah, I want to eat their liver with the fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Apparently, so I had to do a whole research because I
Yeah,
couldn't
good.
remember.
Yeah, what was this all about?
What were these cannibal? And yeah, he was messaging with somebody like, "Oh, I want to eat your ribs" or something. But there were also a few sexual assault allegations that he was facing.
Mhm.
So it wasn't just like only.
It wasn't the
cannibal.
cannibalism.
It was more. There was sexual assault accusations and things like that. But he sat down with this podcast where he talked about how overall the whole thing, he says, was ridiculous, but he's apparently very grateful for how it changed his life.
I'm actually now at a place where I'm really grateful for it, because where I was in my life before all of that stuff happened to me, I didn't feel good. I never felt satisfied. I never had enough. I never was in a place where I was happy with myself, where I had self-esteem.
Hey, have you ever noticed the only time you can talk about cannibalism is if you're talking about a baby and nobody gets upset? You know, you're like, I could just eat you. Yes, I could. I could eat your little toes. Oh, you like little corn niblets.
But mention one thing, you want to eat a woman's ribs.
Yeah, you
and
mentioned you eat
everybody's up in
one
arms.
woman's ribs, and then your career's over.
I could not remember what went on with Armie Hammer. And then as I'm doing all this research, there was this like Real Housewife who went on to some other podcast and was like, he can eat my ribs any day. And then she got a ton of backlash for that. Overall, he says that it kind of did torpedo his career.
Now I'm able to sort of look at it with a sense of distance and perspective and be like, that's hilarious. Like, people called me a cannibal and everyone believed them. They're like, yep, that guy ate people.
I mean,
no, I don't think I ever believed he ate people. I think he fantasized about it in a really bizarre, strange way.
Looking at you with a side eye of like, does that dude want to grill my ribs?
Right. Are you thinking about eating me right now?
You're right. Looking at you like a wolf in a children's story. Weird. And finally, Jaime Reyes' time as Blue Beetle may continue in animated form. Warner Brothers Animation and DC Studios are developing an animated series based on the DC comic character. The potential show would follow on the 2023 feature film, which starred Xola Marudeña as the title character, who gains superpowers after an alien scarab fuses with his body. Blue Beetle debuted in theaters in August of 2023 to mostly positive reviews, but underwhelming box office returns.
Can I tell you a quick Blue Beetle story?
Yes.
So that superhero is famously from El Paso.
Yes.
That's a part of his story. It's like how Batman's from Gotham City and the Fantastic Four are from New York. He's from El Paso. So I saw the first preview for that in a theater that was pretty full. You know, it was a preview for that movie. And you could kind of feel a little bit of excitement, but then when it became clear that this had nothing to do with El Paso,
right,
it got like cricket quiet.
Like hostile really quick.
Yeah, you could tell there was just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? All right.
And was everyone just like, wait a minute, what the hell?
You know, it was just a trailer before the main feature started, but I could tell everybody just seemed to kind of blow it off. Just like, okay, never mind. I'm not going to go see this after all.
There was like a whole thing of like, we're boycotting this because they didn't put El Paso in it.
Oh, I think people boycotted it without calling it a boycott. I think they just didn't go see it.
Yeah,
in El
that
Paso.
too. That too. There's no word yet on whether Maridueña or other members of the film's cast, which include George Lopez, will return to their roles in the animated show. The project also doesn't have an outlet at the moment, though Warner Brothers Discovery's Max would be a likely destination. And with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
All right, we've got a lot coming up on the show today. It's the day after Father's Day. Welcome to Monday, everybody, as we get the work week started here.
Monday is my favorite time of year. I'm gonna tell you what I really think I like about Mondays. Could it be like Saturdays when you don't gotta go to work every day the hard day? I wake up when I want to. I do anything I wanna do. Can't wait for Tuesday. I really never like Fridays. Can't do what I wanna do. Sold out at the movies. Can't eat at the restaurant. Everybody wanna get tight. Put the boys for a cigarette smoke. I think I'll stay home. I think I'll wait for Monday. I live a 5-day weekend. I got a year-long holiday. Thank God it's Monday. Only place that I gotta be is at the show on the first tee. Thank God for irony. Never mind the aggravation, modulation. Give me another key. I tell you what, I like Tuesdays. Cause I kinda like Christmas. Come to think about Wednesdays. I'm a little like Hanukkah. Thursdays is good. I'm talking about the living. I think I'll give thanks. Thank God it's Monday. 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 Thank God it's Monday.
Hey Buzz, you know what day it is?
I have got a serious case of the Mondays.
Music news, concert updates, song and album factoids, and of course, nothing but El Paso's best rock. Oh,
Tech.com today. Don't give up. Rise up at Western Tech. College for the real world.
originating in El Paso for El Paso, the Buzz Adams Morning Show, 95.5 KLAQ.
Sometimes far too long you come, wash away the rain, black hole sun. Won't you come? Won't you come? Black hole sun. Won't you come? Wash away the rain, black hole sun. Won't you come? Won't you come? Won't you come?
KLAQ 95.5 Soundgarden and Black Hole Sun. Welcome to Monday morning, everybody. If you think it's hot in El Paso, we're not alone, although our heat waves might be a few degrees warmer, rather. But I guess the entire Northeast from Chicago all the way to New York and Boston is going to be sweltering. And they've got some wildfires going on in Southern California, not too far from Los Angeles today. Here's the forecast. I should mention we do have a chance of rain. I think El Paso is going to get some rain later in the week, but not for today and tomorrow. It's just going to be hot, sunny. 104 is going to be the high temperature today, and the winds in the afternoon are going to be between 10 and 15 miles an hour. For tomorrow, sunny, 102, still warm, winds around 10 miles an hour. Now, Wednesday, we're going to see a little chance of rain in here. Let's put it at about a 20% chance of rain Wednesday afternoon. And it is still going to be warm with or without the rain. 104, again, triple digits on Wednesday. But then on Thursday and Friday, I just want you to notice this real quick. It's going to get down in the 80s for our high temperatures. So that's breaking a pretty long streak of triple digit temperatures. So, but it's also going to be very, very windy. And on Thursday, we're seeing that 15 to 20% chance of rain, along with the high winds, 20 to 30 miles an hour, and cooler by almost 20 degrees. Friday and Saturday is when we're seeing the bulk of the rain. We're seeing up to 30, 40, maybe even 50% chance of rain on Friday and isolated thunderstorms, and then more of it on Saturday, and that will linger through Sunday and Monday morning, at least a chance of rain starting Wednesday, but it looks like most of the rain, if we get it, is going to be Friday, Saturday. And that is El Paso weather. It's brought to you by Painted Dunes Desert Golf Course, the golfer's forecast. And don't forget, you can set up all your tee times and reservations online at painteddunes.com. That's painteddunes.com, or call the Pro Shop at 915-821-2122. That's 821-2122. And don't forget, coming up the day before the 4th of July, July 3rd, it's the annual Red, White, and Brew fireworks show at Painted Dunes. They put on a really nice, expensive fireworks display. They also have live music and barbecue, jumping balloons and water slides for the kids, vendors, and a lot more. So kind of mark that down. Wednesday, July 3rd at Painted Dunes for the 4th annual Red, White, and Brew fireworks show. You get more information on that at painteddunes.com. I've got some late belated dad jokes for you.
Okay.
And I'll get to those coming up here in just a few moments. Game 5 of the NBA Finals. That's right, Game 5. The Dallas Mavericks somehow pulled one out at home. And now the series goes back for the final 2 games in Boston. Celtics hosting the Mavericks tonight. Boston leads that series 3-1 going into the finals. And I got the tip-off here at 6:30 p.m. El Paso time. That's on ABC.
And the fate of their roller coaster names lies in their hands.
The fate of the what?
You don't read my articles, do you?
Tell me what that means.
The Six Flags over Texas and the Six Flags New England have a bet going on over who wins the NBA Finals.
They got a Six Flags in New England?
Yes, they do. Can you believe that?
Yeah.
It's about 100 miles from Boston. But they have a bet going on, and whoever wins the other Six Flags has to change their roller coaster name. So in Dallas, in the Six Flags over Texas, it's called Texas Giant.
Big Tex? Or
Texas Giant.
Texas Giant, yeah. It's a wooden roller coaster.
Yeah, they'll have to change theirs to Boston Giant.
And how long will it have to stay that way?
I don't know, but they have a lot of really cool things. If Boston wins over in Texas, they're going to be giving away Boston cream pies to the fans. Fans who have a Boston ID will get in for free.
And what is Boston going to do?
They also have to change their name. I can't remember the name of the roller coaster, but it's something like Screaming Boston, but they'll have to change it to like Screaming Dallas.
Okay. Well, right now.
And then their fans will get pecan pie.
Not Texas toast?
Not Texas toast, no.
Okay. Hey, so here's some love on the rocks for you. Billy Ray Cyrus married this younger woman.
Okay.
And
that's okay.
Yeah, they're getting divorced after, let's see. It hasn't been that long, just a few months. 7 months.
Oh, no, love is dead.
Billy Ray Cyrus filed for divorce after just 7 months of marriage to Fire Rose, all one word.
Is that a family name?
Is Fire Rose a family name? I think it's a stage name. So I think the deal was
Fire Rose.
He was also helping her out with her music career. And, I don't know how in 2024 Billy Ray Cyrus is going to help I guess he was on that Lil Nas X song a couple of years ago, right?
Yeah.
And of course he's got a famous relative. Billy Ray Cyrus filed for divorce, and now we know what the breakup is about. He is accusing her of racking up almost $1,000 in credit card charges in the first 2 weeks after they got married.
Oh, my God.
He says, well, maybe it wasn't the first 2 weeks. Let me see if I got my timeline straight here. So Billy Ray Cyrus says between May 23rd and June 7th, Fire Rose, his young wife, made 37 unauthorized charges and spent a total of $96,986 through his business account.
My achy breaky heart.
She reportedly spent over $70,000 of that on lawyer fees. I wonder if they were lawyer fees so she could screw over Billy Ray Cyrus even more. It's not clear where the rest of it went, but she claims that she had access to the card for 2 years and he has no right to cut her off. Really? Before you were married to Miley Cyrus's dad, how much money did you have? Could you have gone out and spent $100,000? So Billy Ray Cyrus filed for divorce, citing inappropriate marital conduct. Boy, that's a loaded statement. That can mean a lot of things, but in this case, I guess it means stealing $100,000. He is hoping to get the marriage annulled on the grounds of fraud, and he wants a temporary restraining order to keep her from spending any more money. Yeah, it looks like there's another one that didn't pan out.
Oh, no. Right. Who saw that coming?
Well, Miley, because apparently Miley and Billy Ray have been kind of estranged.
What?
Well, she probably, I mean, if I were to guess, she was able to see this chick is just going to use you. She's going to spend your money and by extension my money, because I still think Miley's probably bankrolling everything
sure.
Billy Ray does.
And he was like, but it's the best of both worlds.
Yeah, right. And she's not going to achy breaky my heart. Let me mull it over. If you forgot Father's Day, here's a late gift your dad will enjoy. 2,000 people were asked to rank a list of classic dad jokes. And here are some that made the list of the cringiest or best. All right, I'm just going to read them to you as they're written here, okay?
Okay.
Well, this graveyard looks crowded. People must be dying to get in.
This sounds like, what's that one commercial where they're like, oh, you're turning into your dad?
Oh, like...
And he's all, come on in.
Like when the kid is little and asks, can you put my shoes on? And dad says, no, I don't think they'll fit me. You know, like before the kid can tie their shoe or whatever. I used to hate facial hair, but then it grew on me. When he puts the car in reverse and says, this takes me back.
You know that there is like someone out there who says that. There is some dad doing that.
Oh, there's probably an army of them. Here's another dad joke. I only know 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why. When your mom says to dad, how do I look? And dad says, with your eyes. Oh, here's one I'm guilty of. When somebody asks me if I get a haircut, I say, in fact, I got them all cut.
You told me that before. What, did you get a haircut?
Nope, I got them all cut.
Based on true events, people.
You know, I'm kind of glad Nico's not here since I'm telling these dad jokes.
Oh, because
so
he would immediately be shutting it down.
Yeah, he'd be so negative. Joanna, you want to hear a joke about pizza?
Okay.
Never mind, it's too cheesy.
And then Nico would be getting mad at me for laughing.
I'm scared of elevators.
Why?
So I'm taking steps to avoid them. What did one wall say to the other wall?
What did one wall say to the other wall? I don't know.
Meet you at the corner. Did you guys do anything yesterday? Have a little cookout?
No.
I know your dad's no longer with us. So is it just like a regular day? Or?
Just a regular Sunday.
All right. Yeah. So my dad passed away a couple of years ago. Was Nico implying that I should still call my mom and wish her happy Father's Day?
He kind of did say that.
Did that make any sense to you at all?
No. And then I told him, like, well, she's not his father.
Right. And also, listen, I know that my mom sometimes really misses my dad. She tells me.
Oh.
She'll say, I was just really missing your father today and stuff.
Right.
I don't want to call her up out of the blue and like, hey, this is Father's Day, but Dad passed away.
I get you. Yeah.
Right.
You don't want to remind her of that.
Yesterday was Father's Day. Today is the day after. And do you know what that means?
What's that?
It's this. Yes. Wait, hold on a second. Here you go.
Yesterday was Father's Day, but for you, it was just an ordinary Sunday because by virtue of you keeping it in your pants or low sperm count, you decided not to add to the planet's ongoing population crisis by not fathering children. A happy non-Father's Day to you, my friend. You slept in yesterday, followed by some online adult entertainment, enjoyed some cold pizza, and then played a round of golf with the boys, drinks at the bar, and then you went home to an empty house filled with peace and quiet. And suddenly, you felt empty, alone, and
It was amazing. I mean, sure, no one gave you a stupid World's Best Dad coffee mug, but because you don't have to pay for braces, daycare, or Go-Gurt, you have so much disposable income, you can buy a whole apartment full of stupid World's Best Dad coffee mugs if you wanted to.
Let's be honest, you've never stepped on a rogue Lego in the middle of the night or suffered the indignity of driving a Dodge Caravan. So a very happy non-Father's Day to you, pal. What did you call it? Monday.
Monday. Just Monday.
While you're working away, we're working for you. Our job starting at 10.
Amazing deals on Milwaukee. Join the fun in Napa Auto Parts. Saturday, June 22nd at 5500 Donovan on the west side.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a town square media station.
Good morning, everybody. If you're just joining us, welcome to Monday. It's the day after Father's Day. Yes, nice to have you along. Got to get to some neckline calls coming up here in just a few minutes. But I want to tell you about Loudwire Nights tonight. You can listen to Loudwire Nights, 7 to midnight, every Monday through Friday on KLAQ. And we got a special guest. Tonight's special guest on Loudwire Nights is Slash. And we are talking about Slash's solo album. Tune in and listen for that. The solo album from Slash is called Orgy of the Damned. And 10 o'clock, we're going to have Mission Metallica. We're going to have tracks from 72 Seasons, including Screaming Suicide. And then 2 others from 72 Seasons at 10 o'clock. Every night, Monday through Friday, we do Mission Metallica. We play a block of Metallica songs. And a special album anniversary tribute, happy anniversary to the Blink-182 Dude Ranch album. We will celebrate with the nightcap and something from Blink-182 for you. So check out Loudwire Nights tonight and every weeknight, 7 to midnight on 95.5 KLAQ. Let me make sure that everybody has the number. First of all, the direct studio line, you can give us a call on the studio line and talk to us directly. That number is 915-910-4995. That's 915-910-4995. Or leave a message anytime, day or night, Saturday, 2 in the morning, doesn't matter. The neckline is there for you all the time. And that number is 844-805-NECK. 844-805-6325. Love hearing from you. I hope everybody had a great weekend. For all you dads out there, I hope you had a wonderful Father's Day. And here's a call.
Yeah, this is calling again, truck driver. I just got off the night shift about 3:30 this morning. Wow. And I go from here to El Paso to Albuquerque and back. Mm-hmm. And I was listening to your show from Friday, and y'all were comparing yourself to New Girl. Love that show. Love Zooey Deschanel, but
I did not understand it. So Nico brought it up and said, "Who are you from New Girl?" And I didn't understand it.
And you are Nick.
I think y'all should compare yourself.
I was who?
Nick. You are Nick Miller, sir.
I assume he's the cool guy who gets all the chicks?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. Again, I don't watch New Girl.
I think y'all should compare yourselves to Seinfeld. I mean, Nico's the comedian, so he's Jerry.
Is he?
No, he's right. Kramer.
Yeah, for sure, he's Kramer.
He's Kramer. Just, the way he comes into a room and it's like, dude, your shirt's on inside out. I disagree with that. I think Nico is not Jerry just because they're both stand-up comedians.
Joanna is Elaine.
Well,
and
that's kind of
because I'm the only girl.
Because you're the girl, right?
Mickey Spagnola comes in, so wait, no, I'm getting it mixed up. Not Mickey Spagnola. Your sports guy, he comes in. Sorry, I'm like half asleep, but he's Kramer.
Wait, you think Kaplowitz is Kramer?
I
don't see that. is he going to make me George? You truck driving SOB. If
Yeah.
if anything, Nico should be George because he's bald.
Right, and like 30.
And, of course, Bud's there, a little cheap with money and stuff. And, of course, eats out of a trash can, so he's George.
Does Georgie's eat out of trash cans?
Not any of the episodes I ever saw. I mean, it's cheap, right?
I've never seen the show, so.
You've never seen Seinfeld?
No.
You know, up until recently, I really didn't watch it when it was on in the 90s. I mean, it was such a big show. I kind of know who all the characters are, and I know the famous episodes like the Master of Your Domain episode and stuff.
Okay, I've seen that one.
Right.
Regular Buzz can't stand you. All right, then. Love the show. Bye.
What's that now?
I did not understand that last part.
Somebody's got a call about your graduation party that you went to when you surprised the host and hostess in their own bathroom. And what were they up to in that bathroom? We just...
they were in their own home. I wasn't there to judge.
Right. But you went into the bathroom because you needed to use the restroom. Yeah. And the host and hostess were there.
And here come Mike and Jasmine out of the bathroom.
Hey, good morning show. I heard you had a story about the couple in the bathroom. I'd hate to assume because people that you guys know, but typically whenever a couple goes into a restroom at a party, it's because they're doing some sugaring of the boogers.
It's called booger sugar, dude.
Sugaring of the boogers?
Maybe sugaring of the booger. Marching powder of the Bolivian variety.
But, maybe that's not true. I hope it's not the case. If it is, you might want to keep an eye, Boogering of the sugar. Sugaring of the booger. Also, do you guys still have the request line? I'm not sure if that's obsolete because of the whole Apple Music, Spotify thing. And I had a question for Nico, a medical one, but he called in again. So maybe tomorrow. Later, guys.
Isn't it interesting? People want to ask medical advice questions from the guy who's sick, like on average one day out of every week.
You want to put your lives in the hands of Nico Ejimian. Let that sink in.
We've got a caller who can shed some light on the Seinfeld comparison.
Okay.
Isn't this like a BuzzFeed article? Which Seinfeld character are you?
Yeah, we should take a quiz.
Which Gossip Girl character are you?
I'm not saying I agree with the truck driver, but yeah, in one famous episode, George takes, I think it's a piece of cake out of a trash can. And the whole episode, I think his girlfriend's mother catches him eating the cake out of the trash can, and the whole episode is based on George eating, I think they call it trash can cake. So,
that's what I called it.
I guess you must have missed that episode. Bye.
I must have. Thank you.
You are George. You ate trash can cake.
I
caught you.
I have hair.
But you eat cake out of the trash.
I'm Jerry.
George. I don't know much about Elaine. Is she cool like me?
Well, I wouldn't say any of them are cool. But
I'm not off to a great start then here.
It's all about their human frailties and come on, it's Seinfeld. You know what it's about, right? Now, New Girl, I have no idea. Are they on a space station? Are they trapped on an island? I don't have any clue.
No. New Girl, Zooey Deschanel moves in with these 4 guys, and she's the new girl because she just got dumped, so she has roommates now.
With 4 guys?
4 guys. Who's that girl? It's Jess. Yes.
I once saw a movie with that same premise, but it was from Sunland Park News and Video.
It was at the Fiesta Drive-In.
Yeah, it was at Fiesta Drive-In.
Stupid.
Hey, you guys. Happy Monday.
Happy Monday.
I was just wondering if any other iPhone users are out there. I have an iPhone for work, iPhone for home, and then my wife has an Android.
Oh.
All All right. Okay.
But with me on my iPhones, if I'm looking at my recent calls and I've actually tapped somebody, it actually calls them. Or I notice I have a lot more butt dialing issues with Apple than I did with my old Samsung phone. I don't know. Does anybody else have that issue on iPhone where you accidentally call people that you didn't mean to, or you actually hit, like you're just looking at your contacts list and it just starts calling somebody because you didn't scroll or whatever? I have that issue quite a bit with iPhone. I only got iPhone because a friend of mine kept begging me to get it. And I don't really see the difference with iPhone and Android. Other than iPhone is a little bit faster and smoother. But yeah, that's my only issue. It's getting kind of annoying because I
He's like, keep butt dialing people.
Send text, oh, sorry, bro, ignore you. The butt dial you, please ignore it. I'll be my work phone. I accidentally call my boss. Hey, why'd you call me? Oh, ignore me, bro. Like, you know what I mean? So, how it going, guys?
I think butt dialing is pretty universal for anybody who has a smartphone, right?
I guess, yeah. It happens for sure, yeah.
You have an iPhone, right?
No.
What do you have?
I got an Android.
You have an Android, okay.
But yeah, I have had the occasional butt dial.
Occasional, right? But it sounds like he's saying all the time.
He says it happens frequently.
Yeah, I don't have any advice for you there.
There's a lot of weird things going on with like iPhones and Apple. Did you hear about that guy who's suing?
Because his wife found all the messages that he was sending to hookers? Is that
Yes!
the one? Oh, my God.
This rich guy is suing. I forget for how much, but
$6 million. Hold on, I just brought the story up.
Millions of dollars.
A man described as a middle-aged, wealthy man in England is suing Apple after his wife found a bunch of text messages that he had sent to hookers.
Bunch of hookers and cocaine. Jeez.
They are divorced now.
Okay, yeah, I can see that happening.
Do you want to hear his story?
Oh, yeah, I do, for sure.
He says he turned to prostitutes in the last few years of their marriage and would text them using the iPhone texting app iMessage. But he was always careful to always delete the messages so his wife didn't see them.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately for him, he only deleted them from his phone, and she eventually found them on the iMac desktop computer they shared. You know, I don't know much.
God.
I'm not very tech savvy, but even I know that your devices can be synced up.
Right. Oh.
After she found these messages, she filed for divorce less than a month later and took him to the cleaners.
And now he's all like, iPhone, you ruined my life.
He is now suing to recover the money that his wife got in the divorce settlement. He thinks Apple should have to cover what he lost in the divorce, as well as his associated legal bills.
Damn.
Totaling more than $6.3 million U.S.
Damn.
He claims he and his wife were very happily married for over 20 years, calling it a superb marriage. Okay.
Oh, was it a superb marriage?
As long as the wife doesn't know about your hookers.
The hookers thing was just on the side. It didn't affect my marriage at all.
The marriage was happy until she found out about the hookers.
Oh, Matt, can you imagine just being the wife and like logging onto the computer one day and being like, oh,
Well,
let me just check some stuff. But bam, message to hookers.
He brings that up. So this dude says that if she'd found out he was cheating some other way, they might have been able to work through it. But seeing the text was just too, and in his words, brutal of a way to find out.
Yeah.
So she wasn't interested in forgiving him. His lawyers are even looking into making it a class action lawsuit if other men come forward and say the same thing happened to them. So I guess we'll hear those commercials like from mesothelioma.
Where they're like, has your marriage been impacted by your text messages to hookers being found by your wife? Then you could be entitled to some compensation.
Did you own an iPhone between the years 2007 and 2024? And did you frequently text hookers trying to set up sexual liaisons? Oh, man.
Well, don't worry about the butt dialing, dude. Maybe worry about the texts to hookers.
Whatever happened to the mesothelioma? I don't hear those as much anymore.
Hey, yeah,
Doesn't it seem like there's one thing that they're suing over and you hear about it for a year, and then it's the next thing.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yeah.
some.
So one
if
time
you,
it was
if
like
you or
baby
someone
powder.
you know was stationed at Fort Benning, Georgia, between the years 1980,
That one too.
that you hear that one all.
There was one for baby powder. I think.
Wait a minute. You're telling me baby powder?
Yeah, like
Baby powder.
Like if you used baby powder between the years of like 1986 and so, and like a specific brand of baby powder.
Probably the brand with the deepest pockets, I would imagine. I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there's something to it, and people, suffer because of negligence or whatever. But when I hear those commercials over and over and over again, I'm just thinking there's some kind of scam going on. They're just like trying to find people. You know what? I once drove by Fort Benning in 1984. Yeah, I was within like 5 miles of it, so maybe I got whatever the deal is. Let's see. Do we have a few more calls? The Bitcoin scam that we heard about earlier.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this was a pretty interesting story. Lady in, where's White? Look up real quick. White Settlement. I think that's somewhere around Fort Worth, Texas. Not too far from.
White Settlement.
Yeah, find out where.
A northern suburb of Fort Worth.
Ha-ha!
I knew it.
Let me see if I can find this for you because it's kind of interesting. A woman noticed an older woman furiously and very nervously putting $100 bills into a Bitcoin ATM. What is a Bitcoin ATM?
Right? They have ATMs now? Bitcoin ATM. Oh, we have some here.
I think I've seen him in El Paso before.
Wow.
The woman was concerned enough that she called 911, and a police sergeant came out and stopped the woman from putting even more money in. She had already put something like $23,000
Oh my God.
into this ATM, Bitcoin ATM. So here's the call. Well, here, let me play the audio for you, first of all. This is Police Sergeant James Stewart of the White Settlement Police Department, and he talks about getting the woman's money back. The Good Samaritan, that lady's name is Mindy Jordan, and she said that the older woman seemed to be very, very scared. All right, here it goes.
All I could think of is this lady is here by herself, scared to death, and I would want somebody to help my grandmother, my mom, help me in that situation.
So I guess the person who was on the phone with her convinced her that he was from her bank security, and for some reason your bank needed you to withdraw tens of thousands of dollars.
Damn.
Morning, Buzz. Morning, Joanna. Hey, Buzz, about the whole Bitcoin deal. So in San Angelo, Texas, somebody or somebody's walked into 3 different Stripe convenience stores posing as upper management or some deal, and told the folks that they needed to either empty the till or the safe. I can't remember what. They knew what they were talking about. But they told the workers that they needed to insert the money to the Bitcoin machine, and those people just walked off scot-free with those receipts, man.
What?
Yeah, I mean, you can't make this stuff up. And those were employees of Stripes. Anyhow, have a good day, guys. Bye-bye.
You know what a Stripe store is?
I've heard.
It's just like a convenience store out on the road. Yeah. Man, Bitcoin to me, and I know that some people are willing to fight over this, the whole thing seems shady and scammy. I wouldn't go near one of those Bitcoin machines.
I am going to make a confession to you right now.
You did not even know there were Bitcoin machines?
No, that too, but I agree with you on the whole Bitcoin thing.
Right. Everything about
I'm very dubious about it.
All of these celebrities who were saying, use this thing. And freaking Matt Damon trying to shame me into being like a... You know what? Still and I like Matt Damon. I've liked him ever since Talented Mr. Ripley. I can say this without reservation. Matt Damon. Because these commercials were showing like the Wright brothers and the astronauts and Vikings. Like some people are bold enough to. It's like, wait a minute, you're trying to shame me into getting involved in your shady.
Wait a minute. Like if I had a boomer complaint, that would be that.
That's your boomer. I don't trust this crypto.
I do not trust crypto at all.
All right, appreciate the call. Let's go ahead and take a break. We'll come back and more of the Buzz Adams Morning Show, including a true crime report that we'll have on the way later, and random facts for the day are also on the schedule. More of the Buzz Adams Morning Show is headed your way right after this.
Artist interviews, new music discoveries, celebrating artists' birthdays, commemorating releases, champion of all things rock.
So far away.
Godsmack and Voodoo, 95.5 KLAQ. And thank you for joining us. It's Monday morning. It's just Joanna and I today. Just the two of us. I want to tell you about our free concerts for this week. So we have a couple of free concert options for you.
Awesome.
Both of them in really nice settings where, as much as you can be, you can stay relatively cool. Am I saying that right, Joanna?
Yes.
First of all, you've got on Wednesdays the State Line Restaurant concert series out on their patio, and it's nice and cool in there, and the sun starts to kind of start going down around 7 o'clock, and it really cools off by the time the music starts. You get there 6 o'clock, order some food out on the patio. It's really well shaded, and they've got all kinds of, they have extra bars open outside so you're not too far away from a cold beverage. And then enjoy live music. This week on the State Line patio stage, it's Zach Neal performing. And somebody from KLAQ, it's usually Glenn, but sometimes
I think it's me this week.
You think you're doing Cool Canyon?
Yes. No, State Line.
State Line.
Yes.
Do you want me to go out there and join you for State Line?
Yeah, come on out.
Yeah. Okay. Because that used to be like my regular gig.
Oh.
Well, you know what happened?
What's that?
That period of time where we started doing the show at 5 a.m. instead of 6 a.m.
right.
It was just too late to stay out. But you can come out, and Joanna's going to be there, and I'll come out and join Joanna. We'll have some prizes to give away. Eat some tasty barbecue, raise an ice-cold beverage, win some free stuff from the queue, and enjoy some great live music on the State Line stage. That's the State Line restaurant every Wednesday, starting at 6 p.m. at 1222 Sunland Park Drive. And then on Thursdays at McKelligan Canyon Amphitheater, I love going to the amphitheater. It always feels like it's like, this is a special occasion. I'm driving out to the amphitheater. We have got a Sonora Scandalo.
Yeah.
Have you heard of them?
Yeah, I have.
I was told they're very, very popular.
They are great, yeah.
We have a couple of, we have several more weeks left in Cool Canyon Nights, but this week we've got Sonora Scandalo on the main stage. Next week, on Wednesday, June 27th, Wednesday, June 27th, Jim Ward from Sparta and at the Drive-In. Jim Ward is going to be performing on the main stage, and this is a treat. Our coworker, our friend Ray Adiola is going to be on the patio stage. So Ray goes out and plays, and does a great live show up on the patio, and then it'll be Jim Ward. That's next Thursday. This Thursday, though, is Sonora Scandalo. So that is Cool Canyon Nights every Thursday this summer. Come out and enjoy some live music. It's free. There's no charge. There's no charge for parking. It's all free. Bring some cash, though. Get a White Claw hard seltzer or a water or some kind of refreshing drink. And they got great food out there with food trucks and concessions going on. And that's every Thursday, Cool Canyon Nights, presented by Westar at McKelligan Canyon Amphitheater. All right, I've got a list here from BuzzFeed.
Okay.
They asked, what's something people do all the time without realizing it's rude?
Oh.
There are some things people do, and I think even they know it's rude. They know it's rude, right?
Yeah, maybe.
But here are some things that maybe people never thought about.
Okay.
I got one for you. And I'm going to give out the, you know what? Let's do this on the neckline. Leave a message if you got one of these. And I say neckline because since it's just Joanna and I.
Yes.
Make it easier to get those calls without Joanna having to screen through the calls. Hogging the sidewalk. That's when a group of 2 or more people are walking towards you side by side and make no effort to let you pass.
Yeah. And you're just kind of like trying to find a way to get through them or around them.
Right.
And you can't.
And they're just like, hey, man, there's 3 of us. This is our sidewalk.
There's only one of you.
Here's one you have heard me harp on.
Okay.
Usually around Christmas. All right. So when you're driving in a parking lot and you stop to let someone walk across because they have the right of way, you know?
You're saying like a Christmas.
Yeah, say
time.
you're at Target.
It's Christmas time.
Right?
Already.
Yeah, it's already crowded.
High.
So you're going to let them cross because, you know, they're the pedestrians.
Yes.
But then they take their GD sweet time and they walk on this extreme diagonal path. It's like, I'm stopping to let you by. They don't look up. I'm not saying you have to look up and wave, but don't just dilly-dally. Get across there, man.
And then for some odd reason, they will always stop like halfway.
And like, oh, did I get my receipt? Like they're checking their change
or if they're
whatever.
walking from their car, they'll stop like, oh, did I lock it? Chirp, chirp.
Right. And it's always
But
while
in the
you're sitting
middle.
there letting them have the right of way.
Yeah.
This one does, well, the bus part might. This one mentions subway or bus. And this one, they will, in New York City, they will tell you if you're doing this. Trying to get on the subway or the bus before people get off. You want a seat. I get that.
Right.
But you still have to wait. And if you're on the subway, you might as well stand up because there's always going to be like pregnant lady on the New York City subway. And if you have any decency, you let a pregnant or elderly person have a seat and you stand up hanging onto the strap. I'm going to throw in there when you are in the entryway someplace or getting off of an elevator and you choose that, or at the bottom of an escalator, and that's the moment you decide to stop and think things over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about,
hate
right?
that, yeah.
Or just anywhere. It's like, hey, I'm on my way in or out of this place, and I'm just going to stop in the doorway. Ooh, we're getting calls.
All right.
Here's one. Apparently, somebody does not agree with me about giving up a subway seat or a bus seat to a pregnant lady.
A lot of people have opinions on that for sure. Yeah.
Really?
Yes.
I mean, if you're a guy, you stand up. I would probably do it basically for any lady over the age of 20.
Okay, yeah.
You know, if you're a kid, you got strong kid legs, you can stand up.
One thing that's considered rude, but really people don't notice, do not, under any circumstances, tell a pregnant woman, oh, look how big you've gotten, in reference to her pregnancy.
Oh, yeah.
Because I did that once to a friend's wife I hadn't seen since she found out she was pregnant. And I said that, and my brother had to be like, hey, bro, chill. That was rude. And I'm like, how? But it's embarrassing. My little brother had to tell me. But yeah, don't ever comment how big a woman has gotten during her pregnancy. Just an FYI.
No, that's good advice.
You sweet summer child. Yeah, don't say
Look how big.
Look how big you got, you cow.
You know, I pretend, other than giving up my seat, I pretend pregnancy does not exist. Like if I see somebody and they look pregnant, I don't assume anything.
I wouldn't assume and be like, oh,
I have seen a number of times where I have seen it happen where somebody comments, oh, how many months along are you? And it's like, no, I just put some weight on. And,
no,
you know, and then
nope, just fat.
I don't say anything. I don't check it. Even if I know somebody's pregnant, I don't ask them questions about it. I mean, what if they just lost
You
Right.
know, what if they had a tragedy?
Uh-huh.
I just stay away from it. Hey, Cappy's here. I'm glad you're here, Steve.
Steve. Let's ask him who we would all be on Seinfeld.
Hey, Steve. He couldn't hear you. He's putting his headphones on.
Oh, right.
Steve, we're talking about if everybody on the morning show were somebody from Seinfeld, who would be who? Somebody called in and said Nico would be Jerry because he's a stand-up comic.
They said Buzz is George.
Yeah, and I think that is just complete horse.
Well, I've heard I've been compared to a Kramer.
They can't. They called you
They said
Kramer.
you were Kramer.
Well, let me
You're
say
not
this.
Kramer.
No, I'm not Kramer. But here's the thing. I have one Kramer ability on this show, and that is I always just fly in the door with no warning, and then just like Kramer would come into the
but you
apartment.
you don't run in and slide into the room or anything.
No. Kramer is, to me, the most interesting man on that show because he is so, like, he's eccentric. He's a whack job.
Well, he's the wacky neighbor taken to some kind of ridiculous extreme. You know,
as much as I would love to say that I come in and have all the craziest ideas, no, that's not me. I feel like on that show, I don't know. I'm definitely not George. Who do you think is Costanza on that program?
Well, did you hear the call?
On our show? No, who?
Somebody said I was.
You're compared you to Costanza?
Yeah. I think Nico is Kramer.
I was by default the link.
Yeah.
Nico walks in and we just like take him in for a minute and try and figure out your shirt's on inside out, or you're wearing sandals and it's Monday.
One time he wore pantuflas.
That's true.
He wore what?
Slippers.
Oh, yeah.
House slippers.
Yeah, like house shoes. I would say,
Has
since
Nico
I'm the
has
leader of the
Nico-
show,
Yeah.
I'm going to say I'm Jerry just by default, that it's the Seinfeld show, it's
There
the
you go.
Buzz show.
Has
Joanna is Elaine because she's a woman.
Is Elaine like the only chick friend that they have?
The only regular one.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
I can't even think
I
other
never
than...
saw the show.
like,
Really?
the
You never
lady-
saw Seinfeld?
No.
I didn't watch it a lot when it was on.
Hey, I just realized something. I'm the only married person on that shows up on this show on a regular basis.
That is true. Is
You know-
there anyone married on the show?
No.
George, almost, but then his fiance died from licking
From
too many
licking
envelopes.
envelopes?
Yes.
I see, you know.
I've seen
you
that
know
one.
Because the
stuff.
envelopes had toxic glue.
Because he went for the
Okay,
cheap ones.
But wasn't
Yes.
he also like trying to not get married to her?
Yeah, but he wasn't trying to kill her, but I mean,
But-
yes, he
and
was
then
trying to
she
get
ends
out
up
of it. Yes, and then he was hoping he could parlay that into Marissa Tomei.
Yeah, good luck. Are we forget? Yeah, so out of the four main cast members, I'm going to say I'm Jerry. Yeah, that would just leave you with George, man. I mean, just by default. I don't think you're very George-like.
Yeah, I don't see myself very much as George, although George
Did
is
you hear about
hilarious.
the real Costanza in real life who spent like 20 years trying to sue Seinfeld? It was
No.
a guy that Seinfeld had known
What?
whose name was like Jim Costanza.
Really?
Yeah.
No.
And he was trying to sue the show because he had to go through the process of explaining which of George's traits he shared in common, which is a humiliation for anybody. And then
Yeah.
I don't think it ever went to court, but Jerry was like, no, it's Larry David.
Yeah, that's
George is based on Larry David.
George is based on Larry David. And
But if
you
he had a
watch
friend
Curb,
named
yeah.
Costanza, I
Right.
got to feel like a little bit of the
No, I get
original
you.
Costanza. How about Kenny Kramer? Have you ever met Kenny Kramer?
I've never met him, but you have.
Yeah, right.
He
I
was
bet.
here once at the comic strip.
Yep, that's right. Kenny Kramer, who
Yeah.
they based Kramer on, is a real
Oh
guy.
my God, really?
Yeah, and he's a weird dude.
Yeah, I heard he's weird. I did. In fact, he does tours in New York.
Oh, yeah.
Like Kramer does his own, like he has his own tour where you can
He'll
have.
show you where the Soup Nazi restaurant is.
By the way, I've been there. And the original soup, it's not the Soup Nazi. He's obviously called, I think it's called like the original Soup Man is what it is. And it's, right in the middle of Midtown and in like the theater district. And the soup's amazing. I mean, obviously now it's been years, but I'll just say this.
That guy, the Soup Nazi, was suing Seinfeld. Boy.
Yeah, he was.
Why did he sue Seinfeld?
He
for
sued
calling him a
Seinfeld.
Nazi.
Oh,
He didn't like that. He didn't like, even though his business got a ridiculous jump
Well,
from
if
that
you remember,
episode.
it must have been packed all the time, just completely slammed, because that was part of the original plot, was that the line, but
Yeah.
everybody was willing to do it because the soup soup was so good.
But the difference is that the Soup Nazi episode allowed tourists to come in and visit there, whereas it was just a place for locals because the locals in New York knew all about it, but not really all the out-of-towners. Then it becomes like a pilgrimage. Everybody wants to go visit
And then
the
I
Soup
think
Nazi.
I heard he was franchising.
He was,
at
and
one
he
point.
actually has. At one point, his soup was even in stores and supermarkets. I'll say this though: his lobster bisque was unstoppable, and his wedding
That
soup was
good,
really
huh?
good too. Oh yeah. The lobster bisque was the best, and it was cool because when you would go there to buy it, he'd give you the lobster bisque would come with like some bread, and then you'd get this little like a little mandarin orange.
Oh, how nice.
Yeah, that was also part of the whole thing.
I had heard that it was true. Like he was yelling if you didn't hurry up paying. He would yell at you. If it got to a certain point, he would ban you from the.
Like
So-
if you
so I've
wondered
never-
what kind
so-
of soup you wanted.
So in New York, there's not actually a place where you can go get it and sit down. Like it's one of these places where you just wait, they make it for you, and then you have to go find a place to sit. And
What do they put it in?
Oh, it's like a to-go cup, but it's
Okay,
not
but like a
what I'm saying-
styrofoam container.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't sit down and enjoy your soup.
No.
Soup to go
It's
seems like a
it's not
weird
styrofoam.
proposition.
It's actually
it'll stay warm, right?
It's like one of those paper containers. You know, the kind that like you can put soup in, but it's not styrofoam. It's like it's a paper. It's like a heavy duty paper bowl. So it's good. It was a to-go bowl. It's fine. Listen, that is one of my favorite stops when I'm in New York. I want to go hit the Soup Man.
All right.
Yeah.
We were talking about things that people do that are rude that they're not aware of. I don't know if you heard any of that.
Go ahead.
Well, and I was telling him, like when you're in any place, but especially in New York, and you get off the subway and then you just stand there trying to get your bearings while the entire train is trying to get off behind you.
Oh, yeah,
so
that's
that's
the worst.
basically anybody. When somebody gets to the bottom of an escalator and they decide, oh, we're going to confab here for like 90 seconds.
Yeah, that would drive. That would be bad.
And what's up, morning show? Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna. Hope you guys are doing well. One of the things you guys are saying about that people do that are rude that don't realize is I hate it when people don't say thank you after you hold the door open for them.
I do hate
when you hold the door and then they don't even acknowledge you. It's like, I'm not your servant. I'm holding the door open for
There
you. Just
are
say
some
thanks.
times when I do that, and people look at me like I am a doorman, and my job
like everybody
is
else
just
coming
to hold
in
the
is
door.
just
Yes,
with no acknowledgement.
100% correct.
Same thing if say Mace is backed up and somebody's trying to make a right turn to get in, and I let them do it.
Yeah,
just a wave.
That's it.
You know,
A
just
courtesy.
just a courtesy
A
wave.
courtesy.
Is that gonna kill you?
Nope.
I mean, maybe they just nonchalantly don't think about it, but I think that's kind of rude that you hold the door open, like you take the time to hold the door open for these people and they don't say thank you. Like that's pretty rude.
So there's a commercial, and I don't know if we air it. It seems like I've heard it on our station, but it's for anyway. The whole thing is, you're in line waiting to merge because it's going down to one lane, and then there's one guy who waits until the very end to get in, and they were saying, that you're supposed to do that. Brandon finally convinced me. That's called the zipper method, and that is the way that actually makes it. So if there's two lanes, and then you see that one is they're going to merge into one. Yeah. Go up to the end of that lane and then zipper one at a time. That's how the Department of Transportation says is the best way to do it. And I used to really take offense at that. It's like, I've been waiting in this slow lane
and you
for
feel
the
like
last 15 minutes, and you're just going to come out. It's like, I'll do
It's like they're
anything.
cutting you off.
I'll play bumper cars to keep you out of there.
I know.
Apparently, that's how you're supposed to be doing it. Here's another one. Things that are rude that people don't even realize. We going to talk sports today?
Well, it's up to you. I have 15 minutes, so
God
whatever
dang,
you want.
man. Did you watch the U.S. Open yesterday?
It was amazing.
It was freaking amazing, and I can't get Joanna to understand
Oh,
that.
thank God Steve's here. Someone for Buzz to talk to about that.
It was amazing because for a while I kept thinking, God, nobody wants to win this thing. It was like everybody just kept hitting shot after shot. That was just awful down the stretch. But man, Bryson saved himself. It was impressive.
So we got one more here. Interrupt. Somebody says it's rude if you interrupt someone while they're looking at their phone.
What?
Now, I've always thought it's kind of rude when somebody's trying to talk to you and you're looking at your phone, but I haven't thought if somebody's looking at their phone, is it rude to interrupt them?
Well, now it depends. I mean, I guess if you say get off your phone, that could be construed as rude.
Okay, so here's what it says, and this is from freaking BuzzFeed. So everybody accepts that it's rude to look at your phone in the middle of a conversation. Does everybody accept that? I'm not sure people under the age of 20. But it can be rude the other way. Don't assume all phone activity is trivial. I'd never thought of that before. I assume you're playing Candy Crush or Royal Match or something.
They still do Candy Crush? Is that still popular?
It's like there are a million mobile games that are basically the same premise as Candy Crush. Like you swipe and try and get the things to match and they go down. There have to be 1,000 games like that. And I get ads for them all the time. I'm trying to do the New York Times crossword.
Oh, so that's what you play. The New York Times crossword. There you go.
That's right.
Okay.
Here's one more call.
Hey, what's up, morning show? Good morning, Buzz. Good morning, Joanna. Hope you guys are doing well. One of the things you guys are saying about that people do that are rude that don't realize is I hate it when people don't say.
Oh, I just played this one. My bad.
Okay.
That was the call from earlier. But
we
this
like
is
it
a
so
call.
much, we want to hear it again.
Yeah.
Hey, on that subject about the thank you for holding the door and everything that the gentleman was talking about. Old people, you ain't got to make the smirk at me whenever I'm holding the door for you, you little old biddies. I know I got some big old gauges and a throat tattoo, but I didn't have to hold the door open for you. Just a little smirk is like smile is fine. You don't need to be giving me a weird look like I'm about to rob you as you walk through the damn door of Denny's. Calm down, old biddies. Not about you. I'm just being nice. Y'all have a good one.
So this guy says he's got a throat tattoo, and you know what gauges are? Those big things in your ears that make it look like you have the size of a 12-gauge shotgun shell in your ear.
Yeah, like a giant hole.
Yeah, like a giant hole. And he's saying he holds the door open. If they're older folks, they give him a sneer, it sounded like. Yeah, don't do that.
It's probably because some of the older people they're probably very appreciative, and then when they take a look and they see the look, they're I mean that's shouldn't be that way. Just be polite, be friendly, just say thank you. That's it.
There you go.
Thank you. Simple.
Kaplowitz. Very interesting, don't you think, that both the NHL finals and the NBA finals that could have swept, that the underdogs in both of those series won Game 4.
In decisive fashion. The hockey game wasn't close. The basketball game wasn't close.
It's almost like they got together and said,
yes, we need ratings.
We need ratings. We need the series to go a little. I'm not throwing that out as an accusation. I think it's a lot harder to fix a professional sporting event. But it is odd that both of these things looked like they were headed for a sweep, and now they're going at least to a Game 5.
I was rooting for a sweep in the NBA Finals because we will be airing Game 5 tonight on 600 ESPN El Paso, and that will cut our show short by 90 minutes. So we will be on the air today from 4 to 5:30. And then it's our coverage of the NBA.
You want to be on the air?
Well, I want to be a 3-hour show. It'd be nice on a Monday. We can recap everything. There's so much going on.
See, I would think, they got a game tonight. I only have to do an hour, whereas I would normally do 3 hours.
Yeah.
Some people would see that as great.
You know what? We do get a lot of shortened shows because of Chihuahuas baseball. So, if they play at 6 or 6:30, we only go for 2 or 2.5 hours. So, yeah, here's the thing. I was really expecting a full 3-hour show today. And then not only did the Mavericks win,
is there any
they
chance
destroyed the Celtics?
Is there any chance somebody from the league goes into the Celtics locker room and says, Yeah, you know what? Great win. You guys are up 3-0. Maybe don't try as hard this game.
No, I don't think so. I think what happened was this, okay? And I've already heard people call this the gentleman's sweep. That is a shout out to Esteban, one of our regulars on Sports Talk. Who always messes.
You let him win one at home?
Yes.
Guys, this is a gentleman's sweep.
A gentleman's sweep is what that is. So that was
great.
what he said.
That's
And-
great.
Yes. And truth is, you know what? Dallas should have won at least one game in this series. They won game 4. It will probably end tonight, most likely, because Boston will just want to end this in front of their home fans.
You know, Boston. Look, I'm not saying anybody threw anything or rigged anything, but I think in the back of their mind, they're like, yeah, if we lose this one, we get to win it in front of our home crowd.
That's exactly right.
So here's the final call on Friday as the Dallas Mavericks defeat the Boston Celtics. They blew them out.
Well, the largest lead in a finals game in the last 50 years. As Pritchard connects on a 3. And to have a game 5 in Boston on Monday night. A spectacular, dominant performance from Luka Doncic and the Mavericks.
And hey, I want you to take a look at this foul on Caitlin Clark
I've
here
seen
by
it.
Angel
I've
Reese.
seen
I
it.
want to ask about that. I heard that I heard her being talked about a lot this weekend. But here's the final as the Edmonton Oilers, and this was a blowout. They beat them 8-1.
Yep, wasn't
to win
close
their
either.
first game.
Still alive and headed to Game 5 Tuesday night in Sunrise.
Okay, so last week, Bill Maher said on his show that he thinks they don't like Caitlin Clark because, well, she's a rookie.
Okay.
She's white.
Okay.
And she's not a lesbian. And Bill Maher was saying this is an extremely lesbian league, and Caitlin Clark isn't that. But they just showed this thing where it's like Angel Reese almost took Caitlin Clark's head off. It looked like she was going for the ball to me.
She was about a second late, and instead of swatting the ball, she swatted her head.
It happens sometimes.
It's a play that in basketball happens all the time. All
That
the
can
time.
happen to you playing a pickup game
100%.
at the schoolyard.
100%.
And everybody makes it like, oh, they're really out to get her. You know, yeah, they're probably being real tough on her. There are maybe some people that have some jealousy even about Caitlin Clark and everything she's getting. But they called her for a flagrant foul, and I guess it was, but it was a good. I mean, it was a hard play. It was a hard play, and it's a hard, You
have to realize something, okay? Angel Reese, there's animosity that goes back to college. And you want to know something? I love it. I do. I love it. The fact that you have two basketball players that really don't like each other, there's nothing wrong with that.
And they're the rookie stars of the league.
There's something to be said about that. That's, you know what? Everybody's here's the problem about sports.
It's like if LeBron and Kobe had both came out the same year, they were rookies the same year, and they just hated and they were just going at each other. But they were making the point that a lot of the players in the league seem to be taking cheap shots. But let me tell you another thing. Caitlin Clark takes a lot of flops, too. There might be a foul, but she really plays it to the hilt, man.
When did sports become something where everybody's expecting everybody to be best friends? Seriously, when do we get to a point where it's almost like if someone, has, a feeling that they just don't like somebody and they want to beat them and want to beat them badly, why is that a bad thing? I don't get it. I really don't.
I think the kind of, and I don't, to her credit, I don't hear Caitlin Clark moaning about it too much.
I don't either.
She's treating it like a professional, which she is. And they're, the kid gloves are off.
We grew up when this was norm. This was the norm. Okay.
When the NBA, when we were growing up, was like a full contact sport compared to what it is today.
And including fights.
Right.
Which were regular things.
And including hard checks that you would probably be feeling the next week.
100%. Just watch the videos on YouTube when somebody posts all the 80s videos of what the NBA was like, and go watch the 10-minute mashups of all the fouls and the fights and everything we've seen. I mean, they've cleaned it up. They don't let it
really had gotten to be a combat sport.
If you kiss somebody, they call it a foul. I mean, that's just what it is. You can't go near someone. And now, that there obviously there is animosity.
I think there's a lot of culture war stuff that's getting into the WNBA. And this, I mean, if one thing, I guess it shows, hey, people are paying attention to the WNBA.
Sure.
Probably about time.
I feel like there is a lot of jealousy towards Caitlin Clark by a lot of players in the league. They feel like she's stealing the spotlight, like she's getting all the attention, and everybody is looking
She
at
ain't
her.
making more than anybody else is, though.
No, but her endorsements prior to coming in is where the difference is. So
she would have made more
that's where
money
it
if
is.
she'd have played in the Big Three.
Yeah, true.
I think she had an offer of like $5 million to do that, but
that's true. And by the way, would you
but
like to see-
salary based, nobody is making as much as a really good doctor or lawyer.
When will we see Caitlin Clark, after getting hit, come up and start taking swings? When will that happen?
I think, maybe next season or later this season when she's kind of, hey, I've
At her
earned
end.
my place here.
Yep, I feel like, okay, it's enough. Now I'm going to start to fight back. And then it'll get interesting because I'm telling you right now, she will get involved in fights because she will just come to a point. Yes, and she talks
Hey,
trash.
enough is enough.
That's
She's
right.
a trash talker.
Yep.
I think about Larry Bird in his first season in there. People were but Larry Bird was a tough son of a gun, like he didn't back down from anybody, and they really seemed to go after him really hard his rookie season.
Oh, big time. Well, they went after Jordan his rookie season, Bird. There's a lot of guys.
But with both of those guys, they learned.
Yes, they did.
You get tough with them, they're going to reel off 40 or 50 on you.
Bird was tough in college. He fought
They should have
when he
known
was at
that.
Indiana State.
I think some of them are testing Caitlin Clark a little bit, and that's just part of the game. Finally, it comes down to Bryson DeChambeau from the Live Tour and Rory McIlroy, Mr. PGA Tour, in the final day of the Masters, and I thought Rory, and I was going for
U.S. Open.
What'd I say?
Masters.
The U.S. Open, thank you. And I was going for Rory. Normally I'd go for the American, but I don't like this live stuff. I don't like this resort golf where you wear shorts. And what happened? Because they were both missing little bitty putts. When I saw Bryson miss a couple of, 5-6 footers, I thought, well, that's it. Rory's got him.
Well, first off, on the 18th hole, did you see what Bryson did?
Yeah.
He had a terrible tee shot, hits out of it into the sand.
He's got to get up and down or it's going to go to extra holes.
And then he takes a 55 and that ball was struck so perfectly.
Leaving him about a 6-foot putt, which he had missed, a 5 or 6 foot putt.
But
and
unlike
here's what
Rory,
happened. Yeah, drains it. He's the winner.
And Rory, by the way, look, he missed so many putts down the stretch.
Look,
it was
Rory
awful.
has won 4 majors. He's won every major except I don't think he's won a Masters. So it's hard to say this, but I think Rory, with his skill and the level of competition, how good he's been consistently, he should have twice as many major tournaments. And I feel like Rory sometimes lets the pressure get to him.
Do you consider yesterday's collapse a choke job?
I consider it something I've seen from Rory before, going back several years. But it's hard to criticize a guy who's got 4. He won 4 majors before he was 25
But
years
what did
old.
you say the way he blew those putts in the, down the stretch? It's a choke.
It's in your head.
Yes.
That's all in your head
100%.
at that point.
100%.
And I will say this about Bryson, okay? You know how I feel about the Live Tour.
I do.
Not a fan. Bryson has become much more fan-friendly. I don't think he was always a fan favorite. But
Not at all.
Yeah, he was not a guy that the fans really rooted for on the PGA Tour. But he has made progress, leaps and bounds. I think he...
Oh, yeah, he's the fan favorite now.
He was the fan favorite yesterday, and he has really learned how to entertain the crowd and be gracious. And the way he talked about the grounds crew and everything, it was almost like seeing... I was happy for him after he won it. But anyway, Bryson DeChambeau wins his second U.S. Open at the 124th. All right, thanks, Cappy, for dropping by.
Good to see you guys.
All right, we'll see you tomorrow.
Hey,
maybe.
it's Double G. Coming up after the Buzz Adams Morning Show, all
medical care our children at home. El Paso Children's Hospital, created by El Pasoans for generations to come.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show, Monday through Friday, 5 to 10. KLAQ and KLAQ HD1, El Paso, a Town Square media station.
I got some random facts headed your way. So if you enjoy those, we'll have 3 completely unrelated but 100% verifiable facts headed your way. Some good stuff coming up. We're going to find out who is credited with coining the term Friends with Benefits.
Oh.
It's a famous person.
And I wonder if they had a friends with benefits situation.
From the sounds of it, yeah, they did.
Oh.
So we'll get to that coming up here in just a few minutes. We got another call about our topic. What are things people do that are rude without them realizing that it's rude? So I know you don't do a lot of driving, but like if I let somebody in traffic, I'm not gonna road rage on you, but a nice little wave or even a
show of gratitude.
Yeah, just some kind of,
acknowledgement.
Or mouth the word,
here's the thing about holding the door open. And people really love congratulating themselves because they're Mother Teresa now because they hold the door open.
I've never congratulated myself. It's just I do it.
Right.
My thing is, I think it's rude to wait in a doorway, block half of the doorway with your big, fat, stupid body. Then you're acting like you're doing somebody else a favor by holding the door open for them. Never mind, you're blocking half of the doorway. Just go into the store or the establishment. Just walk in. Me personally, I'm an adult man. I'm not an invalid. I can open my own door. Thank you. Get out of the freaking way. That's another pet peeve I have. When you go into an establishment and somebody is like standing right in front of the door or right on the inside of the doorway or actually just in the doorway. That is rude. All right, morning show. You have a good day. Bye-bye.
All right. Here's,
I can open my own door. I like the way he said it.
Wait a minute. So he's saying he would feel that way towards somebody holding the door open for him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He says he can open it himself. I'll slam it in your face.
Pope met with a bunch of comics.
That's weird. Why did he meet with a bunch of comics?
To celebrate diversity, the Vatican said.
Okay.
So there were 100 comedians from, I guess, all over the world. And the Pope said it's okay to make fun of God.
Huh.
Now, does he speak for God? Because I don't want to find out.
Well, the Pope
on
told
judgment.
me I could
Right,
do
the
it.
Pope told me. Do you want to know why the same words are spelled different in America than they are in England sometimes?
Oh, like when they say favorite color.
And it's got a U in there?
U in it. I've always wondered.
And
but
humor is
Yeah.
H-O-M-O.
Favorite.
H-U-M-O. You are favorite. So the reason for that is Noah Webster, and he's the guy from the Webster's Dictionary. He is the reason for a lot of the spelling differences between American English and British English. He, and a lot of people at the time, wanted to do things to separate or set apart the United States from Britain.
Oh.
You know, this was after we had declared our independence.
Right.
So
They were like, we don't want to be associated with them.
Noah Webster promoted spelling reform to distance America from Britain. He changed the CE in words like, okay, so defense, offense, and pretense was spelled with an F, with a C in England. He also dropped the U from words like humor and color and favorite. And he dropped the K from words like public and music. I think that in Britain they've dropped that too. I don't think they spell music with a K on the end of it anymore. I would have noticed that. He had a few other proposals that were rejected. People just didn't go for it in the U.S., like changing. And a lot of it was simplifying. They were just like, we're a plain homespun country. Let's make words look like what they sound like. So he wanted to change the spelling of tongue to T-U-N-G. Tongue.
Tongue.
He wanted to spell women W-I-M-M-E-N.
Women.
Women. He wanted, we're talking about Noah Webster again. Island, here's how he would, just without the S. So it's island.
Without the S.
Right. Thumb, he wanted to spell as THUM.
Thumb.
So that's where a lot of the spelling differences come from.
Interesting.
Got another call about holding doors open. Wow. Seems to be the cause celeb today.
Hey, what's up again, guys? Good morning. Hope you guys are doing well. I just thought of another thing that I think is rude, that people do that they don't realize is rude.
Mm-hmm.
When you're shopping at Walmart and people are standing in the middle of the aisle, like in the middle, or in the middle of the walkways to the aisles, and they're blocking the whole area with their carts. And it's like them, their kids, their husband, their wife, whatever. And they're just there, having a full conversation, blocking you from getting into the other aisle. I think that's rude. And as for the guy who comments on my door opening thing, how are you holding doors open? Like, I don't open the door and stand in the middle and say, come on in or come on out.
Yeah, that's right.
Step to the side and hold the door open, out of the way. I mean, but hey, if you want to open your own door, dude, go ahead, go. Each your own.
Yeah, right. How do you open the door? I open the door and I get out of the way of the door so the person I'm holding it for could come through. Therefore, I'm not in the middle of the door.
I'm trying to picture how somebody would be opening the door. I guess like when you open it from the opposite side and like you're just holding it open. I can't.
I found out something about the store, the exit door at Albertsons after all these years, after 30 years. If you walk up to it, the exit door, it'll open for you even if you're going in the wrong way.
You walked in through the exit, didn't you?
Yeah. Sometimes when it's 108 degrees and I parked on that side of the parking lot, I don't want to go all the way to the other side of the... It's 108 degrees.
Dude, I've done that before and I just feel like awkward, like,
everybody's looking at me and judging me.
Yeah,
right?
and then I still have to go around because I'm at the exit.
Oh, but the pharmacy is on the left side, so if I'm going to the pharmacy, it's right there. I'm not getting a cart. But you're right. You got to go and get a cart, but for at least 5 to 10 seconds, at least you got air conditioning.
Wow, Buzz.
You ready for random facts?
Yes.
You ready to learn something today?
Yeah.
All right, here goes.
And now it's time for
1, 2, 3, random facts.
A few times a week, we look at random facts. It's an educational portion of the show for all of us to enjoy, I hope, and hopefully learn something. So here we go with today's random facts, and I do have an audio random fact today as well. Random fact number 1. Had to get my bell. Commercial airline pilots are not allowed to have beards.
Oh.
Think about that. Have you ever seen a pilot with a beard?
I guess not.
Yeah, just think about it for a second. Have you ever seen a pilot with a beard?
One time, but it was on Halloween, so I don't think he was a real
dressed as a
pirate.
pilot. So he really should have committed to it and learned this factoid. Some airlines require pilots to be clean-shaven, meaning no mustaches either. And it all has to do with safety.
Okay,
They need to ensure that crew members' oxygen masks maintain a good seal in the event of an emergency. And facial hair can get in the way of that.
Oh.
Now, it's interesting that they have that for the pilots, but it's the first I'm hearing of it. How about my mask with my beard?
They're like, yeah, it's not that important for you.
Also, what if somebody has an especially big, bushy beard? Is that going to make their oxygen mask just not work at all?
That's a good question.
Also, I wonder, does it apply to the flight crew? Like the
stewardess.
Well, not the stewardess. I mean, most of them aren't going to have beards. But and it's not stewardess, it's flight attendant.
Whatever.
The male flight attendants.
Male flight attendants.
I don't think I'm trying to think. Have I ever seen a flight attendant with a beard? Not sure I have. All right, random fact number 2. Simon Cowell from American Idol. Yeah, I guess so.
Creator of 5 Direction, or what is it? New Direction? One Direction.
One Direction.
Damn it.
Simon Cowell's first job was for a studio in London where The Shining was being filmed. One of his jobs was to polish Jack Nicholson's axe for the Here's Johnny scene.
Oh, wow.
I mean, I consider it a factoid that The Shining was filmed in London.
You're all, wait a minute.
I thought it was supposed to be in Colorado. Okay, so it's set in Colorado. The actual hotel for the exterior is in Oregon, but the whole thing was actually shot in England.
Weird.
Here is from the Oxford English Dictionary. Random fact number 3. The origin of the term friends with benefits is difficult to trace, even though the phrase is now in regular use and a familiar part of the social lexicon.
Yeah.
The earliest known use of the term that's documented is in the Alanis Morissette 1995 song Head Over Feet. In the lyric where she says, "You're my best friend with benefits." If there is some place that is documented earlier, they say nobody has been able to find it. Like, people might have been saying it, but it didn't appear in print. As far as they know, the first use of the term friends with benefits is from this Alanis Morissette song. You ready for the audio?
Yes.
Here you go. Of course, I started in the harmonica solo for some reason.
You're the best listener that I've ever met. You're my best friend with benefits.
Yes, Alanis.
There you go. And if you're a best friend with benefits, you definitely want to go to a theater with Alanis Morissette.
For sure.
I'd be like, let's go to like 3 movies today.
Hey, friend, let's go to the movies.
Hey, you ever heard of BJ's at the movies before? Yeah, it's when Buzz and Joanna go to movies. Those are your random facts for today.
These are just some facts
that I learned and was amazed.
Everyone should try to learn something new each day.
Hey, it's Daniel Paulus. I'll be along starting at 3 with everything from AC/DC to Alice in Chains to restaurant.
6 East across from the Cielo Vista Mall and our new location at 1499 Lee Trevino.
We're in position.
Come on, let's go.
And now, this is going to be good. Buzz, the Buzz Adams Morning Show is back.
You can keep your Lady Gaga concert movie and your Taylor Swift concert movie. Finally, a rock band has a concert movie. Well, kind of a rock band. It's Ghost. You would think that Ghost would be like this extreme heavy, but they're like very, very kind of poppy and melodic, right?
Very melodic, yeah.
Yeah. They have a lot of melody. So we have a special giveaway. We're giving away codes so you can go and see the Ghost movie in theaters. And here's Joanna to tell you more.
Well, it's called Ghost right here, right now, and it debuts at El Paso Theaters on June 20th.
Oh, I just noticed the right here, right now, is spelled R-I-T-E, like a religious,
like a
R-I-T-E,
religious
yeah.
Yes. There's going to be, I think, 4 dates where you'll be able to choose which one you want to go to. The time, the theater, you get to choose all of that.
Right. You're going to go see it, right?
I'm going to go see it, yeah.
So how are we going to give away the tickets? How many do we have today?
I think one.
One pair?
One code? Yeah.
Okay. So the code is good for 2, though, right?
Yes.
Let's do that at the very end of the show. I am
Okay.
telling you because you're responsible for remembering to do it now.
Okay.
So I got a couple of stories here.
Mm-hmm.
School officials in Florida have banned a book about book banning. Let me repeat that. School officials in Florida have banned a book about book banning. The school board said they didn't like how it, quote, taught rebellion of school board authority.
We don't like how this book banning thing is making us look.
Doesn't it seem like Florida and Texas are in some kind of race to see who can ban the most books?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
The Indian River County School Board voted to remove a book called Ban This Book by Alan Gratz from its shelves. They voted to do this in a meeting last month. There had already been a book review by the district book review committee, and they decided this is a book that doesn't need to be banned. It's called Ban This Book. It's a children's novel. It follows a fictional fourth grader who creates a secret banned books locker library after her school board pulled a bunch of titles off the shelves. That's the plot of the book, okay?
Okay. Underground library. Got it. For banned books.
The irony of this story gets thicker and thicker as the story goes on, okay?
Okay.
School board members in Florida said they disliked how it referenced other books that have been removed from schools and accused it of, quote, teaching rebellion of school board authority. They put forward a formal motion to oust the book, ban this book. It was challenged by a woman named Jennifer Pippin. She's the head of the area's local chapter of Moms for Liberty. Have you heard about them?
No.
They're a national conservative group, I think, that got started in Florida that has, and that group has become one of the loudest advocates for banning books that they deem inappropriate. Also, there was a big shakeup because one of the founding members was found to have been having regular threesomes with his wife and other women. And I guess they decided.
Oh.
Florida's such a freaky state. Even swingers are like into banning books and being extreme. You know what I mean?
We like to swing on the weekends,
Right.
but this book needs to be banned.
Right. I hate gays, but we swing. The book had been challenged at least one other time in Florida by someone in Clay County, but the school officials there decided to keep it on the shelves. The author, Gratz, Alan Gratz, the guy who wrote Ban This Book, called the school board's decision, quote, incredibly ironic. He said in an interview about this Florida school board, they banned the book because it talks about the books that they have banned and because it talks about book banning. It feels like they know exactly what they're doing, and they're somewhat ashamed of what they're doing, and they don't want a book on the shelves that calls them out about what they're ashamed about.
Interesting.
I don't know if they're ashamed at all. I feel like they're very proud of it.
Yeah, they're all like, we did it.
We're going to ban some books, and then we're all going to swing. We're all going to go over to the organized.
Keys in this bowl.
Yeah,
right
put your
now.
keys in the bowl. As soon as we finish, we're going to have a key party as soon as we finish banning all these books that talk about stuff like sexual perversion.
How dare they?
Yeah. In a somewhat related story, an appeals court in Texas ruled children's books can't be banned just because they talk about butts and farts.
That's great.
I think you'd be surprised how many books there are about farts and butts and everybody pooping.
Yeah.
There's one called Everybody Poops.
Everybody poops.
Well, I guess there were some of these modern-day Puritans who didn't want any of that, and the appeals court in Texas ruled you can't ban a book just because it talks about butts
I'd
and
be
farts.
like, what, you don't poop? That's a concern.
Yesterday was Father's Day. I hope all the dads out there have a great Father's Day, but I feel like there is a segment of the society that we forget about. Those are men who don't celebrate Father's Day because they don't have kids. I suggest that we make this the day after Father's Day, the day for non-dads.
Yesterday was Father's Day, but for you, it was just an ordinary Sunday because by virtue of you keeping it in your pants or low sperm count, you've decided not to add to the planet's ongoing population crisis by not fathering children. A happy non-Father's Day to you, my friend. You slept in yesterday, followed by some online adult entertainment, enjoyed some cold pizza, and then played around of golf with the boys, drinks at the bar, and then you went home to an empty house filled with peace and quiet. And suddenly, you felt empty, alone, and it was amazing. I mean, sure, no one gave you a stupid World's Best Dad coffee mug, but because you don't have to pay for braces, daycare, or Go-Gurt, you have so much disposable income, you can buy a whole apartment full of stupid World's Best Dad coffee mugs if you wanted to. Let's be honest, you've never stepped on a rogue Lego in the middle of the night or suffered the indignity of driving a Dodge Caravan. So a very happy non-Father's Day to you, pal. Or as you call it, Monday.
Happy non-Father's Day.
Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna's Hollywood Cheese Mix. Joanna, tell us more.
Here we go. It's time for the Hollywood Cheese Man, our entertainment report with Joanna Barba. Good morning, Joanna.
Good morning. Tom Geary, who played Smalls in The Sandlot, was arrested and charged with assault, disorderly conduct, and malicious damage after allegedly throwing a dumbbell through the windshield of a neighbor's Jeep. This is all
You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, Smalls. Wait, I have that.
You're killing me, Smalls.
No, he will literally try to kill you, apparently. According to TMZ, he also allegedly approached the neighbor's doorbell while holding a knife.
God.
The incident occurred on June 2nd. Geary was previously arrested in 2013 at a Houston airport after allegedly headbutting a police officer.
Good Lord.
After being told that he was too intoxicated to board a flight.
And it's a neighbor, it sounds like he has an
This
issue
was
with.
the neighbor,
His
right?
ball went back in the backyard and they couldn't get it because of the beast.
Exactly. So the dumbbell to the rescue, I guess.
He has retained his lawyer, Squints.
Oh, Geary's last on-screen credit came in the 2021 film The Unforgivable, starring Sandra Bullock.
Wow.
It looks like they're still going strong. Gisele Bündchen got cozy with boyfriend Joaquin Valente after it was reported that they split over stress from the Tom Brady roast. According to photos obtained by Page Six, the supermodel just couldn't keep her hands off her jiu-jitsu trainer as they walked her dog in their Surfside, Florida neighborhood on Saturday afternoon.
So those reports were premature, it sounds like.
Yeah, in one snap, Bündchen placed her arm around her man's shoulder as he held his hand around her waist while they hugged. The outing comes after an insider told In Touch Weekly on Thursday that the spotlight was just too much for Valente. Things between Bündchen and the new trainer seemingly took a turn for the worst after they were the butt of jokes at her ex Tom Brady's Netflix roast.
Well, that's the ultimate joke was they were, I mean, if it were true, and it doesn't sound like it is, but that you were so upset by the Tom Brady roast that it made you actually break up.
I do not appreciate being in the butt of the joke.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like all's well.
Well, he's not the, but he was not the butt of any of the jokes. Tom was the butt of all those jokes.
Apparently, a source says that he's just like a regular chill guy and he just does not appreciate being part of jokes like that.
Maybe don't date a supermodel who used to be married to the most famous athlete.
Exactly. You're dating one of the most famous supermodels in the world.
And her fame is amplified because she was married to Tom Brady and has his kids.
The GOAT.
Yeah, that's right.
What did you and then it's a roast. What did you expect?
Yeah. They weren't there.
They weren't there, but I mean, in spirit, I guess they were. But it looks like the relationship will continue through.
Oh, well, thank God.
Love is not all dead. George Strait is the king of country music, and now it looks like he's the king of concerts. Strait's concert in College Station had 110,900 fans in attendance on Saturday night. The concert at Kyle Field set the U.S. record for a ticketed concert. In 1997, the Grateful Dead had set the previous record at a concert held at Raceway Park in New Jersey. Strait's concert even surpassed the highest attendance for any event at Kyle Field, including football games. Texas A&M previously held that record with 110,663 fans present on October 11th of 2014.
Didn't George Strait retire like a few years ago?
I guess not. That dude's still going.
Maybe it was like one of those temporary retirements.
Yeah, it was one of those things where he's like, I'm retiring. JK, I'm back. George Strait is great.
Have you seen him?
No, but my parents and my sister have seen him like twice.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to hear a little audio of George Strait at Kyle Field?
Yes.
Okay, here you go. Country legend George Strait performed on a rotating stage in the middle of Kyle Field.
What's going on, everybody? I'm ashamed to say this, but this is my first time to ever be in Kyle Field. Damn! Man, I want to whoop so bad. Can I whoop?
So that crowd at the stadium is the equivalent of all of Las Cruces. Like every man, woman, and child in Las Cruces.
How old is George Strait?
George has got to be in his city, like 65, I bet you. You going to look that up real quick?
He is 72 years old.
George looks good.
He does. He sounds good.
Yeah. Okay.
Good for him. Congratulations.
He is the king.
He is, yeah. Armie Hammer sat down with the Painful Lessons podcast recently to reflect on how his life has changed over the last few years and those cannibal accusations that he had to deal with a few years ago.
Let's do just a soft reset here, okay?
Yeah.
So, Armie Hammer played the Lone Ranger in that terrible movie with Johnny Depp.
Yes.
And he was in Call Me By Your Name with Timothy.
He was the Winklevi.
The Winklevi in The Social Network. Okay, so, pretty big actor. I guess in messages, he would describe how he wanted to cannibalize.
Right.
Girls he was interested in, and I don't remember
their ribs or something.
Yeah, I want to eat their liver with the fava beans and a nice Chianti.
Apparently, so I had to do a whole research because I couldn't remember.
Yeah, what was this all about?
What were these cannibal? And yeah, he was messaging with somebody like, "Oh, I want to eat your ribs" or something. But there were also a few sexual assault allegations that he was facing. Mm-hmm. So it wasn't just like only.
It wasn't the cannibalism.
It was more. There was sexual assault accusations and things like that. But he sat down with this podcast where he talked about how overall the whole thing, he says, was ridiculous, but he's apparently very grateful for how it changed his life.
I'm actually now at a place where I'm really grateful for it, because where I was in my life before all of that stuff happened to me, I didn't feel good. I never felt satisfied. I never had enough. I never was in a place where I was happy with myself, where I had self-esteem.
Hey, have you ever noticed the only time you can talk about cannibalism is if you're talking about a baby and nobody gets upset? You know, you're like, I could just eat you. Yes, I could. I could eat your little toes. Oh, you like little corn niblets. Yeah,
but mention one thing, you want to eat a woman's ribs.
Yeah, you mention you eat one woman's ribs, and then your career's over.
I could not remember what went on with Armie Hammer. And then as I'm doing all this research, there was this like Real Housewife who went on to some other podcast and was like, he can eat my ribs any day. And then she got a ton of backlash for that. Overall, he says that it kind of did torpedo his career.
Now I'm able to sort of look at it with a sense of distance and perspective and be like, that's hilarious. Like, people called me a cannibal and everyone believed them. They're like, yep, that guy ate people.
I mean,
no, I don't think I ever believed he ate people. I think he fantasized about it in a really bizarre, strange way.
Looking at you with a side eye of like, does that dude want to grill my ribs?
Right. Are you thinking about eating me right now?
Right. Looking at you like a wolf in a children's story. weird. And finally, Jaime Reyes' time as Blue Beetle may continue in animated form. Warner Brothers Animation and DC Studios are developing an animated series based on the DC comic character. The potential show would follow on the 2023 feature film, which starred Xolo Maridueña as the title character, who gains superpowers after an alien scarab fuses with his body. Blue Beetle debuted in theaters in August of 2023 to mostly positive reviews, but underwhelming box office returns.
Can I tell you a quick Blue Beetle story?
Yes.
So that superhero is famously from El Paso.
Yes.
That's a part of his story. It's like how Batman's from Gotham City and the Fantastic Four are from New York. He's from El Paso. So I saw the first preview for that in a theater that was pretty full. You know, it was a preview for that movie. And you could kind of feel a little bit of excitement, but then when it became clear that this had nothing to do with El Paso,
right,
it got like cricket quiet.
Like hostile. Really
Yeah.
quick.
Yeah, you could tell there was just like, wait a minute, what's going on here? All right.
And was everyone just like, wait a minute, what the hell?
You know, it was just a trailer before the main feature started, but I could tell everybody just seemed to kind of blow it off. Just like, okay, never mind. I'm not going to go see this after all.
There was like a whole thing of like, we're boycotting this because they didn't put El Paso in it.
Oh, I think people boycotted it without calling it a boycott. I think they just didn't go see it.
Yeah,
in El
that
Paso.
too. That too. There's no word yet on whether Maridueña or other members of the film's cast, which include George Lopez, will return to their roles in the animated show. The project also doesn't have an outlet at the moment, though Warner Brothers Discovery's Max would be a likely destination. And with your entertainment news, I'm Joanna Barba.
Hey, it's Chuck, your host for Loudwire Nights. Tonight at 7, we will rock the borderland with the best rock ever made and the best rock being made. Special guests, birthday and anniversary celebrations, and every night at 10...
Special tickets for Designated P available too. Visit SunCityCraftBeerFest.com.
It's gonna be smashing, baby. Yeah.
Live from the KLAQ studios, the Buzz Adams Morning Show. Courtesy of Glasheen, Vyas, and Enderman Personal Injury Lawyers at GVILaw.com.
Joanna, it's going to be... I'm not going to have time for a true crime report, am I?
Nope.
Okay. Well, before the show wraps up, you're going to give away some of these digital tickets to go see the Ghost concert movie called Right Here, Right Now.
Yes.
All right, let's make that the last thing we do. Okay. We'll get that coming up here in just a few minutes. I had so much planned for the show today. I guess I'm just not going to get to it. Oh, well, it's the price you pay. Let me see what else people are talking about. I told you about, okay. Told you about the school banning the book about book banning.
Yeah.
Because it was questioned the authority of the school board.
They were like, this is too meta.
So it's, Black History Month is February. We got Juneteenth coming up on Wednesday.
Oh, yeah. And you said you knew someone who's getting the day off.
Their whole office gets the day off for Juneteenth, and they said it's because their company is based in New York. And I said, well, how many African-American people work at the El Paso branch? And she said 0. And I thought, well, we have that many. We should get the day off as well.
Right.
Morgan Freeman still hates the idea of Black History Month.
Oh, my God. I was going to ask you, like, what's his deal with that?
Have you gotten those before? I had to Snopes it. It's like, well, this sounds like something somebody would write. But apparently, yeah. But not for the reasons that I think a lot of people share that. He doesn't like it because it's like, really, you're going to have 1 month set aside for all of African-American history. But here's a quote from Morgan Freeman. I detest it. I really need to do the voice, right?
Yes, please.
I detest it. Hold on, I have to get in.
That's not good.
I know. I have to I have to say lines from Shawshank
Okay,
but
yeah.
I want to say my friend Handad and say, what in the ho? Get busy living or get busy dying. I detest it, the mere idea of it.
Nice.
You are going to give me the shortest month in a year? And you're going to celebrate my history? This whole idea makes my teeth itch. It's not right.
Oh.
So, yeah, I mean...
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. It's the shortest month of the year.
He goes on to say, and I'm not going to keep up with the voice because I realize what a poor impression it is. My history is American history. It's the one thing in this world I'm interested in beyond making money, having a good time, getting enough sleep. The Pope told a bunch of comedians that it's okay to laugh at God. Pope Francis hosted more than 100 comedians from around the world at the Vatican on Friday. So some of the ones from the U.S. were Jimmy Fallon, Stephen Colbert, Chris Rock, Whoopi Goldberg, Julia Louis-Dreyfus, Conan O'Brien, Jim Gaffigan, and Tig Notaro. And he told them, all right, the Pope told them that mocking or making jokes about the Supreme Being is not a sin as long as you do it right. He said, quote, "It's okay to laugh at God just as we play and joke with those we love."
Oh.
But he added, it's not okay to make fun of religious believers.
Okay.
He told the comedians, remember this, when you manage to bring intelligent smiles to the lips of even a single spectator, you also make God smile, except for Rob Schneider.
Except you, Rob Schneider.
No, he didn't say that.
God's all like, yeah, that was a good one, but not you, Rob Schneider.
We had a call from the born-again Christian guy who really disagrees with the Pope on this.
I did see that.
Do you have it handy? Because I can't locate it now.
Oh, man. I don't know how you can keep up with all these. Because they come in so fast, and then they kind of just take over my inbox.
Yeah, right. I cannot. I don't think I deleted it.
I found it.
Okay,
I think I have it.
Can you play it?
Sure.
What time did it come in?
9:13.
I had to have.
This is a born again Christian guy. The Pope is wrong. You are not to be making fun of God. God is a superior being, spirit, and he needs to be respected and revered and held up as an example to all of us. The Pope is wrong. Who does he think he is?
The Pope?
That's not right. That's not right. I know that's not right. Thank you very much. Have a good day, Buzz and Joanna. Bye-bye.
Okay. Well, the Pope, I guess, has
Pope.
like a direct phone line to God.
Right. Who does he think he is? The Pope.
The Pope. So the Pope, by the way, this meeting was held at the St. Peter's Basilica Ha-Ha store. So the Pope said it's okay to make fun of God. Just don't make fun of people who are believers. And I also disagree with the Pope. I think everybody's fair game up to and including God.
I agree.
All right.
Coming to TV, watch as His Holiness tries his hand at comedy. It's the Pope Francis stand-up special.
Greetings to you all. Hey, you ever noticed that when you ask the Lord for forgiveness for your many sins, you are forgiven for all you have done wrong? What's the deal with that?
It's Pope Francis like you've never seen him before.
So the Pope, a rabbi, and the cowboy walk into a bar. Just kidding, the Pope does not walk into a bar, for the Lord frowns upon consuming alcoholic beverages.
It's the Pope Francis stand-up special.
Knock, knock. Who's there? It is I, the Pope, and I have blessed this house in the name of the Lord. Waka, waka.
Don't miss it.
The Pope, this Pope actually did work at a bar.
He did?
One of his jobs when he was a young man was he was a bouncer.
A bouncer at a bar.
Where's he from? Argentina, right?
I guess.
Yeah. So the Pope actually did work at a bar.
That's the show for today.
The Buzz Adams Morning Show will be back tomorrow at 6 a.m.
See you tomorrow, okay? Okay, bye-bye.
In the meantime,